WDW Radio, your information
Good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are. Welcome to show number 500-ish. Thank you. For those of you joining us live, thank you so much for being here on a Saturday. Thank you. Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. We said 4-ish. We weren't kidding. We started a couple minutes late. Today has been an adventure, much like 500 shows has been an adventure. But thanks all of you who have been here, who have been waiting patiently or not so patiently in the box. I love seeing so many people, so many familiar names and faces. So many of you congratulating me on 500 shows. You're doing it wrong. You should be congratulating yourself on 500 shows. I said this is very much a celebration of you because I would not be here, literally and figuratively, if it wasn't for you. And for some of the folks that are joining us here live, not everything goes as planned, as we've come to discover, and we have all come to discover. This was supposed to be a gathering of some members of the WDW Radio Nation and some friends and family at a truly secret, undisclosed location in Walt Disney World. And that's when things start. Fortunately, Becky, thank God Becky's not here yet. So, because you'll hear her version of the story and then my version of the story. But we adapt, we overcome, we start a couple minutes late. And I have welcomed all my friends and you, my friend, literally into my home. Thank you, baby Jesus, for making the rain stop, because it really would have been even more so an adventure. You're right. I did just change. Right from you say nothing, and that's the first thing you say is that I jinxed it. Who brought those kids? Who brought those kids? Those are these two are not my kids. Fortunately, those are not my kids. Those are my kids off in the back. And we do have some friends and members of the nation with us. If you guys want to say hi. That's you. That's you. That's Lisa. That's Scott and Susanna. Oh, Scott, you know Scott and Susanna.
No.
Oh my God. And some other friends and members of the nation who have joined us today. Listen, I would have loved to have you all here, but clearly there's not enough room in the lanai. There certainly wasn't enough room in the room that we had today. Again, I'll save that story for Becky when she literally is waiting to make a grand entrance. I think she's waiting. She is. Is that it? Oh, the motorcade is just pulling up. We hear that we can see the sirens and the motorcycles as she gets ready to join us. But you would think, with knowing that Show 500 was coming for so long, I would have had the entire day. Why are you shaking your head, Jimmy Styles? Because you know I would have the entire day planned out, exactly where we were going and what we were doing. And I made 3 trips to Publix this morning. What did he say? It was the exact opposite. And for those of you who are here seeing how this happens, you've seen that there is really not a lot of... Don't shake your head. Don't nod. Yes, there were technical issues. There were non-technical issues. But we made it, and the show must go on. And despite my stress and frustration this morning and an hour ago, this will probably not be the last show ever. We'll see. We'll see how the day goes. But I really don't have anything planned because I really did want tonight to be about you and sort of celebrating 500 shows with you. People ask me all the time, like, before I do live shows on Wednesday night, how long does it take me to prepare, and get everything ready? I'm like 3-4 minutes tops, because you guys always. I figured it would be by the seat of your pants, which, let's be honest, makes for the best box nights, said David Potts. Phil Weiss says, can we turn this into a 24-hour live show? Absolutely not. The top 10 reasons why this won't become a 24-hour live show. Let's see if we can get through an hour. Did little Timmy Foster get invited? Timmy Foster's always invited. He has an open invitation to my house, but he lives up in Transylvania or Pennsylvania, somewhere up there where it's a lot colder than it is here, and he doesn't get out. Timmy Foster does not get out very much. I don't think Tim's ever been on that should have been a trivia question. Has Tim ever been on a live show? I don't think so. I don't think we've ever done a live broadcast from the parks together. So we tried to one time, and it never happened. So Molly's watching from South Dakota. Marla Chen, from where? Stay warm. Is it, yeah? Is it cold in South Dakota? Yeah? Like colder than this? God, I wish. Remember, 2 weeks ago when we had fall for 2 days, and you could open up your windows. But wait, you guys are new transplants, aren't you?
We're back.
You're back. You were here. You were evicted, and you're back.
Now we're back.
Right. The statute of limitations is run, and now they've actually welcomed you back to Florida. Welcome back. Where did you relocate from?
South Carolina.
Okay, so not that cold, not that bad.
It's freezing.
But you're happier to be here.
Basically freezing.
You're much happier to be here.
I'm wearing flip-flops again. Life is good.
It's 34 in Connecticut. Aye. Jessica's in Las Vegas. Marla's in Las Vegas. By the way, Marla Chan, if I knew how to make a heart, I would give you so many big hearts for the bags of taco flavored Doritos that you sent me last week. They came in very handy. I am not sharing. My kids will be the first one to tell you I am not sharing, and I have absolutely no problem with that. Stephanie Bullock says, I've met so many amazing friends through the running team. Thank you so much, Lou. Listen, the thanks. I'm just a facilitator. You guys are the ones that go out and do the running and all that kind of stuff. And all the what? Oh, they're saying that they love you. They're saying that they love you. Everyone loves you. Love your what? What did you say? If you think the donuts were good on your side, you should have been. We had coffee. We had right.
It was yes.
Cheering is better. Cheering is greater than running. We need to start making up cheering medals, though, McNamara's. That's what I think that we need. What do you mean? We're out there just as.
I said cheering medals. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Dave Rashoni says it's 34 in Niagara Falls. And Vicky Guppy is watching from Australia. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. It's 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Yikes. 44 and raining in Seattle. Flowertown, Pennsylvania. I should have invited Timmy Foster to my house to watch. Christine, you do not want Timmy Foster coming to your house. You probably don't want to get within 50 yards of Timmy Foster in person. But Amanda is also is watching from Melbourne, Australia. What time is it there? What time is it in Melbourne, Australia? Do I want to join the Hips family at the boathouse in 35 days? I was hoping you were saying 35 minutes because I would have been out of here. But the chair is here, right? The boathouse, my boathouse chair. Angelina is enjoying it. Are you enjoying it? Is it all you dreamed it would be? She's like, what chair? I just sat in the folding chair. It's what is it?
8 a.m. tomorrow in Australia.
Oh, so you have the new iPhone cracked.
Yes.
Nice. 35 in Chicago. Yeah, she says it's 8:34. Christina says, I've never been on a live show. I listened to all the podcasts. So glad I got you in a free moment on my film set. Wait a minute. Now I'm intrigued. Are you on, like, the front side of the camera, on the back side of the camera? And are there any Marvel superheroes where you are? Don't spoil Thor if you've seen it already. It's awesome. Okay. Well, you haven't? Dude.
That's what I said.
Zanacam.com hasn't been here in years, and the first thing she says is, why are you chiming in with Jimmy Styles? I like your glasses. Are those the first ones I ever remember? I loaned you your first pair of glasses. That's Scott Otis, by the way. You have, I think probably, of all the people here, you've probably been around on more live shows than anybody else. Yeah. You usually haven't. Usually you come uninvited. Usually you just sort of showed up. Tonight you were actually invited. Hiding in the bushes. Top 10 Scott Otis moments. When we were in Fort Wilderness for Christmas during was it Christmas or Halloween? We were driving around in a golf cart, and Fort Wilderness is a big place. Scott Otis just pops up out of nowhere like, hey.
Yeah, but no, remember when he was like laying down on the sidewalk and we thought.
Yes.
And he'd been there for a while. Like, how many people thought you were in dead body?
There's only one other person that would show up occasionally on live shows but you, I think.
There was that one time in Norway too.
Oh, dude, I have neighbors, man. Please don't recreate the incident. So wait, the incident was during show what?
No, that was
The 48, was it a 40-hour show? The 24-hour show?
No, that was one of the anniversary years. Yeah, it was like yes. It was the sixth because you did the first.
The sixth
Magic Kingdom. Fifth was Magic Kingdom. Sixth was Epcot, right?
Wow. You should have been the producer on this show because I have no idea what any of these things are. Wow. Oh, so that was.
Is the pay good?
Well, no. But you will eat well. You will eat very well. So the Magic Kingdom, that's when we.
Did the 5th anniversary show.
Right. There was a bunch of us running around like idiots. Weren't we also? Yeah, and we also were getting like cast member signatures or something. That was.
I remember you were giving out congrats cards to.
So many cast member signatures. You guys had a list of things we had to do.
I have no.
That was all Christy Wasaki put all that together. I remember.
I have no recollection.
Right? And then you did the same thing in Epcot the next year.
Was it? Was that when I was still walking around with my laptop like an idiot when I used to broadcast from my laptop?
I think so.
In the 7th year at studios, that kind of got rained out.
Yeah.
Rained at the studios?
Yeah, it poured that day, and you guys couldn't do it. I think you did it either later that day or the next day, but you weren't live doing it.
So this is not the first show to not go as planned. I mean, we had some semblance of plans, at least a location. Not really. It all came together. It sort of almost came together this week. Jim Orahosky says, I'm a 500 plus show. Because it's really not 500 shows, if you think about it. Because it's 500 episodes, not including the newscasts and the videos and the 40-hour shows and the special event shows and that other show beforehand, which was called? Anybody? Mouse Tunes. Were you a Mouse Tunes listener?
Definitely not.
I have them. I found them. There's, I actually found in this little magic bag under my desk here, there's a number of things that I found that might make an appearance later on today. I cannot speak to what might be in there.
He's distracted down here right now.
Somebody said, I'm listening in from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, which has awesome poutine, by the way. Since episode 400 till now, who's been your favorite or most memorable guest? Love everything, Lou. Thanks for everything. Happy. Yikes. Jimmy Styles? Is that a question or that's an affirmative statement? Jimmy, you are my best guest? I don't even know. I don't know who's been. Listen. I have no idea. You are on Sna. Sna was good stuff.
Was Jock Lindsay's in the 400s?
I don't think so. He doesn't listen. He don't care. He don't care. Michael Berrigan doesn't care. He's just here for the food. So let's see. What show number was Sanaa? I'm actually looking it up. Wow. Let's see. I have a matrix with all the shows. 478. Listen, at least you were in the right 400s. What show were you on? Nice. No caring whatsoever. Don't you completely lied. It's not even in the 420s. Let's see. 5 best books about Walt Disney. Probably that guy.
The live food review at Mama Melrose.
So, all right. So, Mama Melrose's. Let's see. It actually, and I'm going to give you. I have trivia questions for you guys. That actually was not the very first live dining review. It's the first one that. I don't. According to the Matrix. According to the Matrix. All right, so here's a trivia question. What was the very first live dining review? I will give you a prize if you answer it. Anybody? What? Look at you pulling Yak and Yeti out. It was Yak and Yeti. Show 41 was the very first live dining review. Who was with? I have no idea who was with it.
Glenn, but he
Was it Glenn?
Talking about the dining that he had previously attended.
But it wasn't live?
No, the show that you recorded was live. But he was talking
Obviously.
about dining there.
Oh, but we didn't. Oh, so what you're saying is that we didn't actually sit in the restaurant and record it live. Oh. So, like my trivia books, there's another question that's wrong. So, who found the show and all this stuff via the trivia books? Is it Volume 1, Volume 2? Volume 3. But shut up, man. My kids. I still owe my son a cover on a book. I took a picture. Oh my God, he's sitting back there. He just said I have. We did, Nicholas. Did we not do like a photo shoot with you in a pirate costume for the Volume 3 cover? We did. It never materialized. I should have pulled it up, but are you gonna jump in the pool in this one, Lou? Again, a Scott Otis isn't right. Wasn't that you who made me jump in the pool? That was when I lived in Naples, and I was my neighbors, by the way, much like these guys probably will, thought I was a weirdo because I was sitting outside at 9:00 at night. Don't look at me like that. My lanai, talking to myself. And you said something like, "Oh, you dared me for charity to jump in the pool, do it for the kids," and we raised, right? Because I think non-existent Becky Menken, who's not here yet, waiting for a grand entrance, didn't she match what we raised? That's crazy. Kevin Tolman says, I found the show by. So for those of you who are watching live, how did you find the show? Let me know how did you find the show? Anybody? What was it? But how'd you find the running team?
Because I saw the shirts in Chicago when I was running.
Wow. In Chicago?
So it was either Liz or I'm trying to think who would have been there.
I think it was Chris. Chris Steele was there too.
No, originally.
And so you saw these bunch of incredibly sweaty people running by. I know. I've been there. So yeah, I gotta hop on board that train. What happened that made you be like, oh, I need to go?
Disney. And so I was like, oh, Disney. And so I looked into the dream team and then found the podcast.
Interesting. Jason said I searched for a podcast about Disney, 3 years before my first visit. My sister told you about this past June. Cindy Deppen found the podcast while I was driving an hour to work each day. Facebook, top 5 snacks on YouTube. Vanessa Prince found it from Andrew. I searched for Disney on iTunes. My show was the first one to come up. I found the show when you broadcast a wedding. Oh, my God. Larson and Stephanie's wedding. That was a long time ago. Found it on iTunes about 2012 and watching ever since. Looking for Disney. So a lot of people just did. We were looking for food suggestions. You've come to the right place, Wine. And somehow ended up listening to live dining reviews. I can't remember because I have Dane Bramage, says Ricky. Some people found me from interviews on other podcasts. Tracy found you looking for podcasts to help plan for Walt Disney World holiday after recovering from cancer. I've been listening ever since. What's the over-under on how many times I cry tonight? 5. I cried 4 times this morning already. My son has been around me a lot today. Found my show when I got my iPhone 4. Found you moonwalking when Captain EO came back. I may or may not have. Please don't search for that. Top 10 things you should not search for. Lou in Greece, me moonwalking at Captain EO. Somebody shared your Facebook. Maybe just looking for live Disney on Ustream since 2007. Someone was 2007. I found you show 1. My wife saw you on the news about quitting law to do Disney stuff, right? If you're going to do it, you got. She's new. She doesn't have the blah, 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 blah. Listener since 2009. We share a mutual friend. Dave Rashoni saw it live. And Dave Rashoni, not only did you see it live, I still remember when Dave Rashoni called me when I was living in Scotch Plains, New Jersey, about creating the WDW Radio theme song, which is not me singing. No. Please. I want people to keep watching. Just don't. This is why I do a show by myself. No.
Oh my gosh, that'll be so much fun.
Oh, I think Becky's at the door. Can you go? No, there's no second microphone. No second microphone. Mary Wall, due to technical difficulties, it's really weird watching it on the replay to see how creepy it looks. I'm going to watch on this side instead. I was trying to watch. Oh, I had the Matrix up. I lost my train of thought. Oh, so back on Ustream.
Yeah.
You do? What was it?
Citrus Swirl Girl Lady.
You're a Citrus Swirl Girl Lady. Oh, hey, nice to see you. How come we never hear Xanalan on the podcast? I can't afford her. That's honestly what it is. It has been. I think the last one that we did was, did we do like a top 10 technology thing?
It was the Oh, really? Yeah. We did one after Trader Sam's.
Oh, that's right. We did a live review of Trader Sam's.
That shows up on my Facebook.
We did do a live review of Trader Sam's. Martin Shergold, although you are in the United Kingdom, I wish you were here. People are waving hi to you. Whitney Watts, nice to see you as well. Listen, this is not Romper Room. This is not a chant. Hi, Whitney. I used to listen to Mouse Tunes. Been a day 1, hour 1 listen. Does anybody? So who's that said listen to Mouse Tunes? Anybody? Mouse Tunes? Nobody? I don't know. I would be afraid to listen. So here's a trivia question, because we're celebrating 10 years of WDW Radio, which is not really true, and 500 episodes, which is also not really true. Does Chantel Crawford? You were actually Chantel Crawford. You were on show number. Hold on, I'm looking. You were on show 7. You were on show number 7. So you were we did DVC at Animal Kingdom Lodge, which is actually coincidentally where I'm supposed to be right now. Alas, I'm at my house. So it's not really 500. It's not really 10 years. Does anybody know when I did my very first podcast? What year it was?
Was it 03 or 04?
was 2005, April 2005, when I was about to get geeky and technical about how back in the old days, how we used to have to. We don't do it as easy as you guys do now with all the little easy libs and stuff. Like we were hand coding feeds, and there was only like 3 Disney podcasters. I still do. I still hand code my feed. No, man, I do as I say, not as I do. Because when you've been doing it for 12 years, you sort of get used to doing it a certain way. So I like to be able to see and have control over everything. Martin, yes, at least the internet is. Terry says, "Who could blame you? Animal Kingdom Lodge is so far away. Isn't it? Thank you. Is it not? Is it not far? Did you say yes?
Yeah, I would have had my babysitter had to come way early.
You used to make fun of me, like, oh, really, Mangello? I live in Maryland, so it is. It's like."
If I was an Animal Kingdom Lodge, I probably wouldn't have come. It's that far.
That says a lot about the depth of our friendship, clearly. Hello, Beatrice Feeney. Yes, nice. Beatrice Feeney, she's being quiet. It's okay. How are you?
I'm good. How are
You can come here and give me a hug.
Of course. Hi there.
How are you?
Congratulations.
Congratulations
Happy
to you,
500.
too.
You look very young for your 500.
It's Beatrice Feeney.
Hi, peeps.
You've been around, like we were just saying, like how people first found the show,
Yes.
and was it the first time? I know the first time I met you was at Mouse Fest 2005,
Yep.
Right?
2005.
but you had found the show before that?
I did. Actually, well, no. I take
No,
that
wait.
back. I take that back. You introduced yourself to me as some guy that just wrote a Disney trivia book. And I was like, oh, really? Tell me
Was
about
was that like my pickup line? You know, I wrote a Disney trivia book, and
I have a poo hair.
yes, you do. We bonded. Let's just. It's funnier to us. We bonded very quickly.
We did.
And then you came to.
I was like, you like Disney?
the tri-
Hey.
but you came
I
to-
found my people.
There's Brian. And you came
she is.
to.
He wanted to
I
see
did a Mouse Fest meetup and did a trivia contest.
Yes.
And I actually have a picture of you at the Tomorrowland Terrace
Look at
holding
my
up
letter.
your little A letter thing, and I think you probably
That
won
was
like a
awesome.
shirt or something.
Yes, I love that.
That was a long time. That was 12 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez
And then I
Louise.
remember you recorded the next day. I think we were at like Tower of Terror, and you did a little recording, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. This guy records stuff."
Nobody does that.
Yeah, right. 2005. That was hard to come by.
That was, man. That was.
And I've been around ever since watching. I was like, "What's he gonna say today?" And I still wonder.
You know, it's funny, Beatrice, because so do I. On the 24-hour show, what was the name of the fictitious woman whose name kept coming up in the conversation, especially as sleep deprivation set in, and was supposed to be romantically involved with Lou? What?
We're not allowed to say it.
Oh my God.
Martin Sturgold.
I'm listening since
everybody knows
2006.
him. Oh,
Listen to WDW the day it was released.
wow.
I was
Well,
going to
and you've gone through a few changes. Like there was a different name. There was almost a mascot one time.
oh my God.
Oh,
On
yeah,
Mouse
we were
Tooth.
trying to name
So
it.
wait a minute. What was the mascot? What kind of animal was it? This was not my idea, which is why I now do a solo show.
That was so cute.
This is-
I thought it was adorable.
Did you?
I did.
Dave Rashoni, and already people are bringing up Olga.
Yes, right.
Let's not. What kind of animal was it?
Oh, I want to.
Nobody else listened to Mouse Tunes, right?
Was it like a squirrel or something?
It was a
like
weird. It was a sugar glider.
Scott Otis is laughing. It was. Yeah.
They're delicious, aren't they? In China, we had them on a stick. So, not really. So but you never listened to Mouse Tunes, did you? Nice. So I had a co-host on my original show, Nathan, and he wanted to have a mascot for the show, which may have been the beginning of the end. And he had somebody draw like a little sugar glider, and he wanted to like name it something. And he used to, and I'm like, this is the stupidest idea, and it's the stupidest thing. And I'm like, the name is really simple because all he used to drink were shandies. I'm like, well, clearly the name of the thing should be Shandy.
Yes.
And I think he made like plush out of it.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, or he dressed like a furry. One of the two. I don't remember exactly what it was. No, I'm kidding. Nathan, not that you're watching, but Nathan was a good guy, and we started podcasting together. I met Nathan because he was a tech nerd like me. it at MouseFest 2005, and we had started talking about that we were tech people, and so this is how WDW Radio got started. We were talking about just technology and our websites and stuff like that. And we're like, there's this new thing called podcasting coming up. And I went to Ask Jeeves and I looked up what a podcast was. And I was like, well, the spoken word is so much more powerful than anything that I write. And I suck at typing anyway. So let's try and figure out how to do this. Where we started, and Nathan originally started hand coding our feed. And I will never forget sitting down to record the first episode. No, I'm not going to play it because I haven't actually heard it. If you think episode 1 of WDW Radio was bad, episode 1 of Mouse Tunes must have been horrific. How anybody continued to listen, I have no idea. But they did, and it sort of grew. And the second hardest conversation I ever had in my life was telling Nathan that I wanted to leave the show, which he was okay with, until I told him that I was starting up my own show the week after. That didn't go so well. What year? So when did WDW Radio start? When did episode 1 come out? February 2000? Look at you, man. You know what? I take back everything Deanna said about you. Meandering Mouse was one of the other original ones. And I think Paul Barry's, I think Winter of the Magic was still there. John, you cannot find Mouse Tunes online because my former ex-co-host decided that selling the domain name was a smart idea. So it's not there. It's not on iTunes. But I do have. Maybe one of these days I'll release I can't even release a best of because I'm not sure if there's a best of Mouse Tunes. But I will.
There is definitely a best of Mouse Tunes.
Is there? What was the best in Mouse Tunes? You never even listen. You still don't listen. How do you know? All right. Here's a trivia question for you. I want you to name 5 shows that I've done that you're not on and are not top 10s. Go. Okay, that's such a no. That's a gimme. You can't use Julie Andrews. Go ahead.
You didn't say which one. She's not on. No.
Who drew up this agreement? Go ahead.
Richard Sherman.
That's such, okay. Go ahead. You know I've done 500 episodes, and you got 2.
Imagineers. You gotta go. Ron Cohig.
Also doesn't count, but go ahead. I remember. Oh wait, Virginia remembers the episode where I fought with Nate. We literally fought on air because he insisted that the name of Disney's private island was Castaway Cay.
Right, I remember that episode. It was like kind of a good cop, bad cop show.
But that was not the intent.
No, at all.
And then he wanted whatever. So God, you've named 3.
Okay, right. No, I had 4.
Who's the other one? Ron.
Marcus.
Don't say Scott Otis because he doesn't count.
And Scott Otis.
No.
Perfect. He
No.
counts.
Bill Daniel said, did I ever have an unpleasant interview? Yes, I did. I have had one interview.
Yes.
I've had
You've had 2.
no. I had one interview that I am 92% sure I never aired, and I had one bad segment that I never aired, and the one bad interview that I never aired was with the lead singer of the Village People. Yeah, because I wanted to find the most obscure interview possible. He was not a nice man, at all. He was a very. So it was not. There was no good that would have come out of that interview. Who was the only guest I've ever had to censor other than Scott Otis? Alice Davis. Why?
Because she said,
What'd she say?
talking about a man's situation.
I don't understand. I don't remember.
I want to be the answer to every question. There's 2 people here.
This is live, so. Marty Baker Rabin says, "How long does it take to produce an episode?" Okay, new podcast. No one else here a podcaster? How long does it take to produce an episode of a show?
I mean, I can be done with it. Define produce an episode.
So when it comes time for you to record an episode of your show, how long does it take you to create an episode from beginning to you're done?
I mean, it all depends how long the episode is, too, but for...
Oh, my God. It's such a lawyer answer.
I'm just saying.
Average.
Average?
My shows are 2 hours long.
Too much editing. You just kind of record and that's it.
And I think
Edit out the 3, 2, 1 at the beginning.
and I think that's the way it should be. I don't edit anything except if it's Alice Davis, because I want. And I used to know somebody who took 6 hours to edit his audio because he used to take out all the ums and ers and pauses, and it sounded so robotic.
It would take me 25 hours.
Yeah, it didn't.
A lot.
So how long does it take me to do a show? All right, so let's say depending on the
Put music in your
Right.
and all that other stuff. I don't do that yet.
So if it's going to be like a DSI or something, like I'll spend 2-3 hours at least researching it first, and then an hour and a half or so to record it, and then to produce it. I mean, I kind of have it down to it probably takes me soup to nuts, 6 hours. 6 hours or so, 7 hours or so.
But when he doesn't have a show, it's magical. Let me just tell you that. It's really magical.
No, when I don't have a show, that's when I'm like, come on, kids, get in the car. We're going to do a live dining review. It's funny because it's true. I was supposed to do, it is true. I'm totally fine saying that. I was supposed to record an episode with somebody, and I didn't have. And
This past weekend, probably.
no, but I mean the first time you did it. And that's why sometimes it's so difficult because I don't do a monologue show. Like, if your co-host or your guest can't do it, then what do you do? Like, then it's like, it's live dining review time. Or, hey, Jimmy Styles, what are you doing this weekend?
Yeah.
What?
That's why you have 500 episodes and I have 11.
John Young says, what podcast, if any, do you listen to, Lou? So, John Young, I will tell you honestly, sorry, bro, I don't listen to any other Disney podcasts.
Harder for not listening to mine.
But now I want to, because now I want to see what it takes you 2 hours to do. Like, I'm just curious. What?
Yeah, you can hear it through.
Yeah, is it?
I mean, that's how I know.
Is that how you fall?
She doesn't listen to my
Do you,
show because she hears it through the walls.
do you fall asleep to it at night?
I do.
She does.
To the to the dulcet sounds of Jimmy Styles. Wait, what question did you guys ask me?
Podcast you listen to.
Oh, podcast. So I don't listen to any Disney podcasts, and there's 2 reasons why. One, I have no time, and I'm rarely in my car. And 2, I never ever want anybody to be able to say to me, "Oh, you stole that idea from so and so, or Jimmy Styles just did that episode." If I don't listen, I can't be accused of ever copying anybody. So I just choose not to. I do not listen to. I know who Joe Rogan is, but I don't listen to him. That person, that 2-year-old that's ringing the doorbell like a 2-year-old, I will bet $8,716 is Becky Menken.
No, it's Becky's servant. Ring the
Ring for me. Somebody started to say something.
You know what I want to know? I want to know how the connection with you and MEI started. Because that had to be a
Okay.
good story.
There are, and there's 2 versions. There's the truth, and then the Becky version. Right. They're in my opinion, I think they're close, but I'll wait to wait for Her Majesty to come in because I'll have to tell it again anyway.
The Thurl Ravencroft interview was awesome. How was it to interview him?
No, so Thurl Ravenscroft is okay. So my Thurl Ravenscroft story is this: he's here. I will tell you that there's a perimeter. He's not going to go anywhere. The McNamara's are guarding the door for any intruders or extruders. So here's my Thurl Ravenscroft story. I tracked down Thurl Ravenscroft years ago when he was in a nursing home, and I got in touch with the person who was his caregiver, explained to her what I was trying to do and the concept of the. I was like, listen, I'm doing like a. Becky Menken. All rise. Don't make eye contact. I told you, no eye contact with Becky.
I hate you more.
Were we not just saying nice things about Becky for the past hour? 40.
So funny.
Weren't we?
You're so funny like that.
Nothing mean was said.
Nothing mean. Thank you.
Lying out loud is what you're
Nothing mean was said. Nothing. Fred Abley said, "Avert your." Wait. So Fred Abley says, "Avert your eyes. The Queen arrives." The princess has arrived. Look. I don't make the news. I just read it.
Wait a minute, should I go into the real story? No.
Of what? Of what? So wait. So somebody just asked how you and I first met.
Do you want the real story or yours?
What did I tell you?
To wait
What did I tell you?
My story is correct.
Wait, so what I should do is this. Hold on a second.
My story.
Hold on. No, I can just aim it. This will actually pick up. Hold on. No, she doesn't have to sit.
Oh, I'm sitting.
And I've lost control already.
I'm not gonna cough on the cookie.
And don't cough on my microphone either, woman.
Well, you know what?
Don't touch anything.
Deal with it.
Becky's here, drinks all around.
Yeah, do the.
Is it
bunny
true that Cinderella herself serves Becky on the Disney ships?
Wow. That one
Listen,
Disney's paying, I can tell you.
I am just. You sound awful, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. So how did we first meet?
Let's hear your version first, because your version
No,
is so
lady.
entertaining.
Go ahead, ladies first. This is a microphone. You speak into it. Go
I
ahead.
thought you said I couldn't breathe on it.
No, go ahead. It's loud enough to.
Make up your.
It'll pick you up. Go ahead. You're fine from there. How did we first meet?
Let's see.
Just,
A long time ago.
oh my gosh.
In a land far, far away.
It wasn't Galaxy at that time.
There was
Eric Berg says, and of course Becky has a drink. It's water.
Your wife.
You
handed me
sounded
water.
exactly like the Becky voice there.
I'm going to breathe on you if you're not careful.
Yes. Yes.
Really? I need people on my side.
I hate Tony
Caggiano.
Caggiano because he said, "Lick Lou, I'll mail you $50." You
Only 50?
stop it.
That's worth at least 100.
Stan Solo says Becky is here. All the children have left, and coincidentally, it's true.
Wow.
The Hoffman kids. The Hoffman kids are gone.
Nicholas is here. Nicholas loves me. You're
young adult, so I don't.
Yes, you are.
Go ahead. How did we first meet?
Magic Meets.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So
actually-
far, that's true.
Yes. The first year of Magic Meets, when you were there, surrounded by your clan, and you were across the way, and MEI Mouse Fan
So you
Travels
let me
sponsored
wait. Hold on.
Magic-
So you saw me across a crowded
Just
room.
tell your version.
You were captivated.
Came in my head.
And then I turned to stone. Go ahead.
Oh my! 2! I've been here, what, 5 seconds, and you got 2 hits already?
Go ahead.
All right, so the real,
Ricky liked it.
honest,
Go ahead.
the real honest version, trust me,
Uh-huh.
because I'm correct and you're not, every time you tell the story. What? Was
Go ahead.
look on your face. Magic Meets, you came
Right.
up to me and introduced yourself at my table. You did.
Because it's a gentlemanly
It
thing
was
to
a nice
do.
thing to do, yeah, because I sponsored the entire event, and you came over and said hello, and I happened to be on the side with another podcast sitting next to me.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. Go ahead.
Yes, and they obviously it was a great show. Magic Meets was a wonderful place to meet everybody. We had a great time, and you came over and introduced yourself and said, "Hey, look at my book," and kind of tell me about what you did, and it was really nice.
I didn't say, "Hey, look at my book." I probably said,
Yes, you did. See, I know. He did. Hey, look at my book.
God.
Yeah, I wrote a book. It's got my daughter on it. I remember that. I mean, here, look at my cute little daughter.
Go ahead.
On my book. Oh.
And this is why this is the last show. Go ahead.
Is it?
We'll see. There's a lot. You missed a lot already.
Oh, well, yeah, I was kind of busy. Really? Don't even go there. So,
So easy. Go ahead.
yeah. So, you were really sweet, and we were talking about what you were doing there and what your business model was and all the fun you were having, and then I started talking to you about what we did, and the first thing out of your mouth was, "I have a travel partner," and I went,
Oh yes. I remember.
"Okay, oh okay, that's awesome. As long as you encourage people to book their travel agent, that's great. Yeah, congratulations. I'm glad you have a travel partner."
I heard. Well, sorry. Go ahead. I think you said, "Who is that witch?" But go ahead. That's fine. Keep going.
What? You know that's not true.
You didn't say that.
No, you know that's not true.
It was close.
But you were really sweet because you were like, "I have a travel." And I'm like, "Oh, good. That's fine. That's wonderful." And great. And you kept talking. And you blurted out, "I'm really loyal." And I went, "Okay, that's great. It's nice that you're really loyal and you've got a travel partner. That's awesome. And it's great to meet you." And I said, because I was awkwardly trying to get out of the conversation, "But if that ever changes, let me know."
And then one New Year's Eve, he didn't have a date.
The interest wins the conversation.
You almost killed Deanna. Please don't kill Deanna. God, she's necessary. So then the next year, did Magic Meets again after some interesting things with Mouse Fest, which someday we'll tell that tale.
We already did. Go ahead.
You didn't tell that. You never told anybody that.
Not that tale.
Okay. Jeez. So I want to be around for that. The next year, you came up and you said you were really impressed with my team and how great they were, and that they were waving with the Mickey hands. And remember?
Go ahead.
You're old. It's okay. So you don't remember that, do you?
Keep going.
Really?
Keep going.
So then you said, it might be time to have that conversation. It was a year later. And we talked the next week, and that's how we formed a partnership.
All right, Becky Menken. It's trivia time with Becky Menken.
Wait, what's your version?
Your version.
Hi, I'm Lou Mangello. Come work with me.
No. That's that was about 29% true. But at the heart of it, I remember I was standing at a table while you were sitting down because I was not allowed to sit next to you. You were sitting there, and you said, "If things ever change."
I did the first year I said
right.
that. At the first,
let me know.
Year, so I was awkwardly trying to get out of the conversation and be going, "I'm loyal." And so
why do you keep saying you're awkwardly trying? Are all conversations with me that awkward, and I just don't know it?
Well, there have been some interesting ones, that's for sure, over time, because it's been almost 10 years. We have been partners over almost 10 years.
That's right.
Yep.
We have been.
We haven't killed each other yet.
We've come
a couple
close.
of times.
We've come close. So here's a trivia question for you.
Oh, indeed.
Here's a trivia question for you. And I don't want you to peek. I have to double check to make sure I get it right.
I'm on cold medicine. Just saying.
On what episode did you first appear?
Oh. I want to forget that one.
Scott knows.
Well, Scott knows everything.
He does know everything.
Scott knows everything you've ever said at any time.
Dude, I am incredibly impressed. Or did you study before today?
Okay.
It's the one. Do you know?
I don't.
Take a guess.
24.
Not even close.
56.
Anybody else?
7.
68.
19.
68. Scott got it right.
62.
68.
68.
In April 2008.
See, 68. I got it. Awesome.
You are coming up on your 10-year. Tony says pretty much yes, you're awkward. Yeah.
See? I knew that would
Great.
happen eventually.
That's
Thank you,
great.
Tony. Love you, man.
Yeah. So number 68. Let's see.
I was so unsure about you.
About
at that
me?
point. Yeah. Because I didn't know if you were going to, throw trivia at me, so I would have to prove my worth or knowledge. Or
So
something.
Scott, you've listened to that episode recently?
Wow.
Well, I'm in the middle of it.
So how awkward does it sound? Like how
Extremely.
awkward is Becky and on that conversation?
Because I was waiting for you. Go ahead, Scott. Be nice. Remember, there's...
Yeah. I used to. Yeah. So you don't listen. So I used to do multiple segments on the
You
show.
only put me on when there's like these 2-hour long conversations about sushi or dumplings. Then, I know that I'm this segments. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
With the luxury guide to Walt Disney World. That was a good one. And you and Jeff Pepper did a day at Animal Kingdom. How it's a full day park. And then you introduced Becky as with your new travel partner. But I'm not quite to that part yet. Sorry.
Okay, good.
I think it's.
It was
But how did Becky
incredibly
sound?
awkward.
How did Becky sound then
Incredibly
versus how
awkward.
she sounds now?
The same.
Yeah, the same.
He just.
The voice is the same, unless you're trying to do my voice, and then it's a whole other issue.
Oh wait, so everybody else can hear that the phone is ringing except me. So wait, let me turn this down. Sorry about that.
Oh, no.
Some people are trying to call in already.
Do you have that on a speaker?
Hold on, I forgot
all
to.
of us can hear it?
So
We had an entire
it's
day
on.
to set up the technology. Come on.
Did you wonder why I want to kill you more times than not? You don't. Somebody said the boathouse is calling. They're always calling. I have a
See.
special boathouse flip phone I keep in my
I was
pocket just in
wondering,
case.
It's the emergency sushi delivery. It's the you must take all of the sushi from everywhere in Orlando now.
Sorry. So sorry about the So there were some technical. There was a lot of technical issues. Even when I got back here, there were technical issues.
Oh.
Yeah.
Magical.
It was awesome.
I bet you were wonderful to hang around for about
No, I was good, right?
You were fine.
Dude, thank you.
Thought your head was going to explode for a second, but you're good.
I mean, I knew we were going to get there eventually, so I thought my iPhone had gone silly. They're playing. They're. Are you freaking out about the kids?
No.
Okay, you right? They're far enough away.
I'm good.
Okay. Manservant, just keep them at least 30 paces away from Becky, and she's fine.
Where did that come from, by the way? Why do you think I hate kids? Let's look over 500 episodes.
Let's go to
and
top 10
stamp
reasons.
them.
Top 10 reasons why we know Becky hates. You don't hate kids. As long as they have a credit card, they're
Kids.
fine.
I've never hated kids. You're just mad because I've already got plans for your kids and their 18th birthdays.
Don't start going there. Don't start going there.
Just saying. Where did that
Someone
come
had asked me a question.
from? Sorry.
Mickey Miklo says you do hate kids.
I do not hate kids. All right.
Wait, so a couple people just asked me, where are you? Because it does not look like a Disney. This is Disney's newest resort, known as My Backyard. We had some technical issues at the undisclosed secret location earlier today, and we improvised after 6 trips to Publix. And you see now what the opposite side of the computer looks like, and the hot mess that it is back there. So,
I
but we
love
got
the
it.
way that you've got like 72 fonts so that you can see what everybody's chatting, which is nice to see.
Well, yeah, this is sort of like my secret teleprompter, so I actually see it without
I
putting
see
on
Larson.
my goggles.
See if you got if you
Larson
got a mirror,
Eisenberg back.
This is cool. You could like have a mirror and do the romper room thing and say, "Oh, and I see, I see Martin and I see Ricky."
Now we're showing how old we are because nobody else in this room,
don't think
other
any-
than maybe Michael McNamara, remembers Romper Room.
And it's a good thing to go. Hey, your kid is watching Friends.
I know.
So come on.
That's fine.
I
Listen,
know, I didn't say
there's a
anything
lot
wrong-
worse that
didn't
she could
say
be.
anything that was wrong with it.
It's the third time you hit me.
No, I got 500 in. One hit for every great year.
Great.
What?
Wait. So I had another trivia question.
I think you get 500 today and 1 to grow on.
Scott Otis or anybody else, who was the very first guest I ever had on the show? So the first show that I did, that awful 6.5 minutes, which took me 6 hours to do. It took me 6 hours. Yeah. It was.
Didn't you do a podcast before that?
6.5 minute show, you didn't have anybody on.
No, I know.
Oh, yeah.
But it was me doing all the production because Nathan and I used to share production, and then it was also trying to figure out what to say. Who was it? Who was?
Was it really?
Who was it?
Was it Jonathan?
It was John. What's his last name?
Dichter?
Dichter. It was Jonathan
What do
Dichter.
I win?
Nothing. You want you can win a T-shirt or a pop socket or a. You don't have an iPhone, so I can't give you an iPhone case. I have lots
necessarily a
of
bad thing.
You want to start that debate again? I have lots of exciting prizes and things. Yeah, I have
Like
lots
what?
of. You'll have to wait and
Give it
see.
away.
You'll have to
Do you
wait
have
and
a deli
see.
in that bag?
I've got
What's in the bag?
I've got lots of interesting stuff in the.
I don't doubt that.
In the bag.
Don't doubt that. Someone grab the bag. Oh,
Don't
by the way,
grab-
while he's sitting here, somebody is scouring the house for the grease tape, right?
You will never find it. I guarantee you that you will never find it because.
I've been trying to get him to run the grease tape for the 500th. I think that would be perfect. None of us are going to...
Because here's the grease tape.
Never should have shown me what that looks like. I wouldn't know what I was looking for.
I spy.
So the grease tape really does exist.
Eventually, you need to go to the bathroom. Or, oh my gosh, it
I mean,
actually says
listen,
grease on it.
It says grease on it. I mean, if I had a VCR out here, I'd play it. But
If you really cared about your listeners, especially the ones that are here, especially the members of the nation, don't think I won't go after that no matter where it is.
no.
I think that you should show the people that came all the way out.
Listen,
here.
all that. Look,
You're
I'm
fine
doing.
to celebrate.
Sometimes, as a parent, we make decisions that we know are in the best interests of our child We don't let them do things or see things. That's how I feel about the grease tape.
Why?
Because no good will come of anybody
Could
seeing
you
the
at
grease
least
tape.
Tell us what role you played.
No.
Why?
Because-
it's a guy in leather. We know that. And pretty much that was everybody.
It's a guy in leather. Well, I was going to say there's a lot of tapes of me, but
Because I've heard. Whoa.
I just feel special because like I was in the vicinity.
What?
Of
The grease tape.
You want to touch it?
Can I touch it?
The aura around the tape. Everything you
You have one job. You have one job in this stupid house.
If I find that I cannot locate the grease tape, a relationship's over. Like, on the spot.
Oh, too bad for that Alaska cruise.
What'd you say?
Said that's a sacrifice of all.
Yeah, me too, kind of. It's a strange
Tony
thing.
says he's got Rizzo written all over him. Just one screen capture. I thought you played Sandy. Yikes.
Were you a pink lady?
I was-
Were you
I was-
all boys school, and you just don't want to tell us that?
I actually did go to an all-boys school, but we had a sister. The Catholic schools have
All
sister
right, but
schools.
that's
And,
what tells us. So were you really in a woman's role, and you just didn't want to tell us
no,
anything?
no, I was not.
Okay, because I've heard you sing "Go Grease Lightning," so I know that
You have
were
not.
in that
You have
scene.
not heard
Yes,
me sing
you
that.
sang it in the car several times.
But that was during like a live show,
Am I
so
wrong?
that doesn't count.
Am I wrong?
Scott Otis, did I sing
Were
during
you
any of the live
in-
shows?
Were you in that scene?
That's different.
Oh. Want to sing that for us one more time, just for old time's sake?
No,
Top
listen.
500 things that he has said
It's
or
got
done
to
that we want to
just
see
that
again.
has to sort of like the Becky voice. It has to just sort of come out organically. I can't just do it on command.
Can you? All right.
I'm not your trained monkey woman. It has to be sort of.
I'm not asking you to do it. Why do you think that I sound like Mrs. Doubtfire and Queen Elizabeth and what's the other one?
I promise you that your vacations are not in jeopardy. Who thinks that the Becky voice sounds like the Becky voice?
Yeah.
Majority
Two
rules.
strikes. Two strikes. I think I saw a hand up. Thank you. What? Hey, you know what? I'm the one that brought you into this little circle. Be careful.
Stan Solo said Scott and Tony sang on a live show, but Lou wouldn't take part. That I remember. Wasn't that on Dumbo? Wasn't that doing a live show or something on Dumbo?
Is
It's Flights of Wonder going on behind us.
Wasn't that one of Christie's things that you guys had to sing?
I think so. Oh, so it was on Aladdin. That's where it was.
no,
And
but
it
the
was.
other one though. Somebody sang the other one and you wouldn't sing. Or something else.
There's a lot of.
Did you sing during the 40-hour show?
God only knows what I did. Did anybody watch a 40-hour show? Yeah. Why?
What was your favorite
Why?
thing about?
How
What was your
long-
favorite thing about the 40-hour show?
I remember the overnight with Glenn and Scott when they were in just like the movie room.
Late night.
Yeah.
That was cool.
And then at the end, when it was like, I can't believe we've actually made it.
And didn't we go to like Buffalo Wild Wings or something?
Yes.
Like at the very end?
I think
And Scott was so tired, he ate cheese.
They brought in pizzas.
Right. And you ate
I
it.
ordered a pizza with no cheese, and it came with cheese.
And you ate cheese.
I've never. You actually ate it.
He
You
ate
actually
it.
Consumed it. You chewed it and didn't spit it out. You actually.
He ate it.
Wow.
Is it true that this year's must-get holiday toy is the Becky talking doll? That's from your buddy Stuart Sternberg.
Stuart. The Lou Mangello bobblehead, however, might make an appearance in Alaska.
Is the video of the Adventurers Club? You better talk to my attorney first to get licensing for that.
No,
Get on
that's
that.
all- that's all part of the advertising agreement. Remember that big package?
I want that agreement to be no less than 75 pages, please. You don't bill by the hour, do you? Let's see.
He says only kidding, Becky. So he's trying
No,
to say
he's just
something and
he's
then
trying
pull
to
back
he's
at
trying
the
to make
same
sure you don't cancel any of his vacations. Loved for episode 498. All right, so to those of you and you in the group, what was your favorite interview ever on the show? Cindy Morgan. I love. Shut your face! You did not. The Cindy Morgan?
Northern Illinois University.
Wait a minute. Oh my God. Oh, I don't. No, we're not recording. I don't want to record that. Did you really? Like, Yori, Cindy Moore? She was Nancy's sorority sister. Lacey Underall.
Oh,
You
jeez.
dated Lacey? Oh my God. She's. I love Cindy Morgan. He's my new hero.
I can
Oh
tell.
my gosh. Did you know that?
You want to ask so many more questions, don't
I
you?
do.
I can tell.
Not while we're recording
Right.
anything. All right. Other than his ex-girlfriend.
Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews. I saw her like 2 years ago. She looks great. She asks about you all the time. Favorite interview?
They're all Ravenscroft, but you never got to finish the story.
Oh, that was the story I was telling. So, right. So I actually never interviewed him. Really? Yeah, because I had talked to. All right. So I found Thurl Ravenscroft where he was under, advanced care, and he had a caregiver. I explained to him, I explained to her what I was trying to do, and we had planned the interview out for like 2 weeks from then, so we can sort of get everything together and give him time and all that. And he died a week later. And I said, I will never, ever let any if I have an opportunity, I seize it right at that moment.
I understand why.
And so that's how I lost the Thurl Ravenscraft interview. So
Say it didn't scare him to death. He was coming on the show, right?
great.
Just checking.
I got some Stacey's. I got lots of Richard Sherman's. Cal David. Who's Cal David? No help.
No
Who's
idea.
Cal David?
No idea.
Sunny Clips. Sunny Clips. Bob Gurr. Who?
One of the favorite interviews was, but really wasn't an interview, when we did the cruise with Richard Sherman. And
wasn't
when he was rehearsing on
Oh
stage,
my God.
and Glenn and you and I and Tony were all
Who?
on stage. Tony Caggiano.
Not ringing a bell. Go ahead.
So, and we got to watch him rehearse.
Tony said, note to self, never schedule an interview with Lou.
That was a favorite moment.
That was, because we sort of sat there and we literally just,
Watched him.
we took in the moment of where we were and what we were doing and what we were witnessing. And that was awesome.
Oh, I love Samantha Brown. Samantha Brown was a good one, especially because you totally you totally fanboyed out.
Oh my God.
On
Absolutely.
the what was it? It was either the dream or the fantasy, because when we had the media event on, it's got to be the dream.
One of them.
But you totally fanboyed out. You're like, I don't know if I should talk to her. Should I go talk to her? I'm not
No,
sure if I can talk to her.
that
And
was-
she came up behind you and she goes, "Oh, it's Lou Mongello," and you turned beet red and did that. You totally did. And then you came bouncing back over after you got a chance to talk to Samantha Brown. And said, "Oh, she remembered my name." It was so cute. You fanboyed.
I did it again so when did one, well, here's a trivia question because I don't know the answer. When did 102 Ways to come out? How long ago was that? 3 years
That
ago?
was the year that we did the show at Key West.
Still not helping. Give me a year. I don't either. So maybe it was.
200th episode?
So I saw her in Magic Kingdom, and she came over. We were chatting, and I have a picture of me, her, and 102 Ways.
Isn't
It
that
was-
on your website? Isn't that
Probably.
prominently displayed?
It was my lock screen for a long time too.
your proudest moments.
Oh, that's right. 'Cause she had the shirt. What is 102? And she had him on October 2nd. Scott Otis, why are you commenting behind me? 5, 4, 3, 2. What is that? What are you counting down?
Don't you need to worry about that?
Oh no! Yikes!
I loved your Ridley Pearson interview where he turned the tables on you.
That was nice.
On the cruise. That was on the
I
cruise.
wish I could have fed him some questions though, because that would have been more fun. I'm still waiting for the one time when you get laryngitis, and Deanna and I and your mother can take over and talk about what it was really like to know Lou Mongello from different
Top
levels
3
of music.
things that'll happen before that. You'll see the grease tape, my funeral, because I better be dead when that happens.
Why?
Because that's
That would be so amazing.
I'm
I think
sure.
a lot of people would be really interested in what you were like as a child.
Tony's favorite interview is the Buccaneers cheerleaders. That you liked that day. It was a good day for you, wasn't it? I mean, it wasn't
him.
the worst for me
It was-
either.
Yeah, you and Tony geeked out on so many levels.
They
for that
were
one, too.
lovely and had a lot of insight into
Yeah.
to everything that was going
Go
on.
ahead. Let that fly. See how that'll go a long ways.
They were
Insights.
very insightful about
What? Do you remember one question you asked and what answer?
wah,
they gave
wah,
you?
wah. That's all I heard.
Uh-huh.
I had no idea. Scott, you were there, weren't you?
I was not.
You weren't?
No, it was just you and Tony.
I always feel like Scott's there, like in some way, shape, or form.
I was like tired after listening to when you interviewed Stacy, like Stacy from the.
Oh, from Must Do, Stacey.
Stacey has one. She's awesome.
She was just as
She's
excited
peppy.
and energized and peppy. in
She's
the interview
peppy.
with you. She was amazing.
What sport does Stacey Aswad still participate in? Roller derby. She's a roller derby.
I did not
Like
know that.
roller skating. Yeah, roller skating.
Derby.
Like roller skate, not roller
I'm
derby.
totally
Sorry.
going to text her right now and say, Lou says you're in
It's
roller
roller
derby."
skating. She's like a like roller skating.
One thing I do know is she's really into animals and animal charities.
Tony says, so's Tony's into animals too. I mean, killing and slaughtering them. But when Becky calls me, the Buccaneer cheerleader picture comes up.
Haven't you? I thought you put that away a long time ago, Tony.
So, all right, Giorgio Irakurta is on. Who is he, and why is what? Who is he, and what show is he on?
You know what? You never introduced me to anybody, so how am I supposed to know?
Giorgio, by the way, we're gonna get together now that you're.
He does not introduce.
Remember who Giorgio is?
Because he'll like run across the
Shut up!
room and
I get this.
start
I'm
talking to
gonna mute your
somebody
microphone. Anybody who Giorgio is? No. Yes. He's the mask artist, the Venetian mask artist from Italy.
Ooh.
He was like a very early video. What was the very first video I ever did? I'll give you a T-shirt. Not that you would ever wear it, but I'll give you a T-shirt. Huh? Yep, it was something to do with food, obviously.
And it was.
Obs. Nope. Nope. Nope.
I do not know that.
T-Rex Cafe. T-Rex Cafe.
Why?
The grand opening of T-Rex Cafe, and that's when I first met Steve Schussler. No, the funniest thing was that Nicholas, who was like 4 or 5, was going back to school, and I guess something got lost in translation because I met one of his teachers and was like, "Oh, I didn't know you owned T-Rex Cafe. Your son Nicholas just told me." And I'm like, "No, I don't own T-Rex Cafe. I happen to shoot a video there." So,
I couldn't go in there. Dinosaurs eat your head. Her name
Dean
is-
says, "Love the Giorgio video. Afterwards, we went to Italy, met him, and chatted up with him for a while. He had nice things to say about Lou. Giorgio was cool." See, some people have nice things to say about me.
I have nice things to say about you
Chantel Crawford,
when you're not looking.
she was on episode 7. She loves the mask she was on. She bought 2. I bought one for my mother
do
and gave
the
it to her as a gift.
Italy ABD, you actually get to create a mask, and then you can show off your.
We were actually just talking about the next events right before you got here.
Really?
Yeah.
What did
The
you
next,
decide? What
the
did he
next
say?
4. The next
What did
4.
he say? What did he say? I'm asking.
Tone
you,
of
I'm asking
silence.
him. What do you mean? All right. Did you not learn like today about not telling me things and pre-planning?
Favorite dining review, or any
Italy?
dining review that you ever listened to.
Tutto gusto.
Stop it! I'm gonna mute your microphone. Suck up!
Thank
Stop
you.
it!
I like that.
Blue Zoo Boathouse. The first Blue. That was really early on too with Scott, right? So let me see. Blue Zoo was.
England with Emma.
204. Oh yeah, yeah.
That was good.
And then I did, and then we did Grand Floridian Tea.
Not a food review, but the Food and Wine Festival walkabout.
So we did. So Emma was back on show
That was
202, and let's see,
I got force-fed escargot on one of those.
347?
walkabouts.
wow, she was on 3 shows. Huh.
Didn't you do like one that was like a UK?
We explored the UK.
Was, and then one
Yep.
was you went to Rose and Crown.
Rose and Crown, and then we did Afternoon Tea. Garden View Tea Room, Jock Lindsay's.
Yeah, what is the
Planet
500
Hollywood.
announcement? What are we making? What are we saying?
There's an announcement?
Yeah, I guess so. Someone was asking, so I'm just wondering. Did I miss an announcement?
No, there's no announcement.
So what was the plan?
This is it. This is the plan right here.
Wait, no.
This is the magic right here. This is what you waited 500 episodes for. This very moment.
Yay! Okay.
So wait. So favorite dining room. So a lot of people said Jock Lindsay's. That was a good time. Jock Lindsay was a good time.
We pointed at the menu and we told the server, we just want this, and he literally.
And we sat in the bell. Like that was a good. And he was a good server too.
Yeah, he was fun.
One of the Southern hospitality restaurants where the cast member was flirting with Lou. I don't know what episode was that.
That happening.
Food and Wine
Butter
Review,
chicken.
Jock Lindsay,
Yum.
Via Napoli. Alani Fuentes says restaurant reviews are my favorites. Jock Lindsay's. Somebody says, "What's that on my face?"
What's your favorite one? What?
What's on my face?
Nothing's on your face. That's your 5 o'clock shadow. He hasn't shaved.
Yeah,
in,
no, I
like,
shaved
3
this
hours.
morning. Come on. Boathouse Live. So, was there ever a live dining review that you heard that prompted you to go to that restaurant? Yeah,
Oh, Rose and Crown.
Rose and Crown.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't have probably gone
I
to
tried
otherwise.
the Scotch eggs and all that stuff just because it
They're
sounds
good.
so good. And I was like, oh, I love that. And I had to try. Oh, at
Raglan Road. Oh, Frank Kaz in we did Meisner's Lounge. We did Meisner's Lounge together. We had a lovely time, by the way. And then he bought a shot of Louis XIII just because.
Really?
Yeah.
Who did
And
that?
Frank.
Awesome.
And he let me take a sip of it.
Good job.
And I'm like,
Was it good? Was it worth the
sorry.
cost?
I think that, by the way, Lucy Stewart, thank you very much. I think that you need to have an appreciation for that type of liquor to understand the difference between a $250 shot and some Mad Dog 2020 out of the back of your van.
Fair enough.
So, Nikki says, after hearing a review of Afternoon Tea, I went there with my sister. And anybody done Afternoon Tea? I have. We should do that, Jimmy. It's lovely.
Yeah, let's go.
Make pinkies up, baby.
Remember a cute little hat too.
I think you sort of
You guys
have
in
to.
tutus would be absolutely interesting.
Frank says it was overrated. Father Christopher says I went to Meisner's because of you as well. Frank says, just say it. It was overrated. Oh, that's right. I did get you were very generous that night. We had a lovely time. Your Plaza review made us put it on our list. Headed there in 8 days. It's not so much dining reviews, but the snacks, most definitely.
Just don't do any more snack of the week videos, okay? Because they get rid of all the good stuff.
Yeah,
So I have one. I kid you not.
Is it? You
Hey,
haven't got taken away?
what's going on, man? I have one in the can that I haven't published yet because I'm afraid. Now I almost want to do the strawberries just to see if it works. Like, just to see.
Evil.
Mickey
Evil.
cheesecake.
You were evil.
It's still there? It's still... All right. Okay.
Yes.
So I have... So, should I say what the other thing is?
Yeah.
So, I'm afraid.
No, go ahead.
No, because
No,
I like
no,
it.
We've broken the curse.
No,
It's
but I'm
good.
afraid.
It's good because the Oreos are still there, so you're
But
still
I
good.
like my poutine. Yeah. Oh, now all of a sudden...
Tear down a whole stand.
No, that's okay. You're safe. You're safe.
In a freak accident today, the poutine stand burned down in the middle of Disney Springs. No one was injured, but... Leah says, hi, how are you? We dined at the bar in Portobello's because of the review. Ultimately had our Disney wedding meet and greet there the night our guest flew in. Were you weren't there for the meatball bar, were you? You were. Jonathan was there, too. Jonathan, good guy. My gosh. Ricky says, can I repeat what the others are saying? It's hard to hear them. It's just a lot of accolades for Becky, just over and over again. Sanaa bread service. Right?
So good. So good we had to have it last night.
Paul Clark, I'm going to pretend you didn't just say that because he just said, is that Deanna sitting to lose right? It's Becky.
That's
My other, well, to them, it might look like my right. Left, right.
No, I would not even take on that level of responsibility.
That is Beatrice Feeney back there, by the way.
Thanks, Frank. I appreciate that.
Let's see. River Roost. Stay away from the. I will not do Dole Whip just on. Although I did do it. It was a top 5 snack of the. It was a snack of the. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be there forever. Oh.
Say what? What?
Yeah. You should go to Magic Kingdom once in a while.
Yeah, because that'll go away fast.
So now, knowing where we are, you know how far away that really is.
Oh, really?
Stay away.
Down the street and to the right?
Hey now. Unknown
What
error.
did you
That's
do?
not.
Pretty darn awesome.
Did you break it?
I broke.
Ooh.
What? It's a pineapple upside down cake with.
This looks like whipped cream. It's a Dole Whip? Ow.
Hold on. I think we just ran into a technical issue here.
It's like I don't know him anymore.
There you go. Okay. Oh wait, somebody says I mean the person whose knee is only showing. That's Scott. That is not my Scott is not my wife. Despite rumors to the contrary, Katrina says Lou getting his own chair. There's the chair. Who's sitting in the chair? That's it. You're in the boathouse chair. That's the chair.
Oh my gosh.
What do you mean? That was so
It's
nice
like
of
all
them.
of a sudden I get these messages. I have to have my name on a chair on the Disney Wonder. I have to have my name on a chair. Everywhere you go now, you have to have.
Yeah. What I think I might do, maybe I'll just make up my own little bronze plaques and just put them on the backs of a chair and just see how long they're like, or I'll put them underneath a chair and I'll say, oh, wait. I wasn't thinking like a dog marking his territory. I didn't think it was, but I'll get little bronze and I'll hide them like under chairs and I'll say, oh, see who can find like the plaque inside.
The Blue Mangello?
No, like inside of like Cadillac, the Cadillac Lounge or something. And then if they find it and send a picture, I'll give them a prize. And then Disney will send me a cease and desist.
Yes,
Please stop.
I was about to go there.
But for the first one, it'll be awesome. The official chair carrier. It's the chair versus a throne for Becky. I'm just reading what's on the screen.
Wait. What?
I'm just reading them.
Yeah.
Jody's had the mango juice. Oh, Hong Kong. How good was the food in Hong Kong?
The little dumpling.
Oh.
The little piggy.
No, the big dumpling.
No, that's you.
The big dumpling.
The little dumpling. The place that we went with the little dumplings, the entire lunch was nothing but dumplings and rice.
And so was breakfast.
Yeah.
Breakfast was
Pretty
dumpling.
much.
So you lived in Japan. Were breakfast dumplings like a thing there?
I mean, not in the homes where I was staying, but like the sushi eggs and rice.
Yeah. Oh my God. Did
For
anybody
any
have
reason you
any
wanna go
interest in
back.
going to Asia, like Shanghai or Japan?
Yeah, when you guys
Japan?
were there, I was like kicking myself every day. Like, why am I not there?
That was an awesome trip. I tried to talk him in. I tried to talk him into doing back to back because we had so much interest in that trip, and it was considered.
There's a time that you need to just cut. Let's cut our losses and go home. We still are talking. We actually hugged at the airport.
I know. We didn't kill each other.
No.
Left our own devices. That was actually
Right.
Yeah. In a foreign land.
Somebody asked me what's my favorite interview, and do they know that I'm? For restaurant reviews, do they know that I'm coming? Most of the time they don't. There are a few occasions that they do, but 99% of the time I just walk in with my little recorder and we just go and do our thing because I want it to be very.
When the cute
organic.
Italian guy was pouring the wine and bringing.
I wasn't
stuff.
pouring the wine. Stop it.
The young cute Italian guy was pouring the wine.
Nicholas was not. All right, just calm down over there. My favorite interviews. It's the low hanging fruit, but as a kid, sorry. So my two are obviously Richard Sherman and Mary Poppins and Julie Andrews, and to a certain degree they're both for the same reason because as a kid, the music from Mary Poppins and obviously the parks was so important to me, and Richard Sherman was the nicest, he still is the nicest, most humble guy in the world. Because if you think about it, what show was Richard Sherman? Otis? 80? So it was show 80, and it was pre D23. So it was before they were like, bringing a lot of the legends out. So most people didn't know or had heard from these people, and I'll never forget. People ask me all the time, like, how'd you find him? Like, who connected you? And I'm like, I basically found his home phone number because he had a company, and I went through the company, and I eventually sort of looked it up, and I called his house, and I talked to his wife, who was like the nicest lady in the world.
She is amazing. Elizabeth is.
And we talked for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And
You
so
can't
then
get
he
her off
called
the
me
phone.
back.
She starts, and you can't get her off the phone.
I didn't.
She tells great
Maybe I don't
stories.
want to get her off the phone.
No, I'm not saying.
So you
want
tried
to.
So you couldn't wait to shut me up the first time we met at Magic Meets, and you couldn't wait to get Elizabeth off the phone.
No, not at all. She has fantastic stories. She does.
They do. And I'll never forget him. He was like, he literally asked me, he's like, why do you want to interview me? He's like, I'm like, do you know who you are? But he was incredibly gracious, and I got choked up at the end, and but Julie Andrews, like, if I would have called my mom, and I was like, oh my God, I interviewed Richard Sherman, she'd be like, what do you do again? Why did I pay for law school? She would never really say that out loud. But when you say to your mom, I interviewed Julie Andrews, she says, why are you not a lawyer anymore? And then she says, oh, I know who Julie Andrews is.
What I want to know, because this is out of all the interviews you've done, you've only texted me about one interview after you were done because you were so excited, and that was Julie Andrews. So how many people did you text that day? Just out of pure excitement.
I texted everybody. But I will tell you, other people that I really enjoyed interviewing was Kat Cora, who was very, very nice. And I interviewed her the day before she was going to give birth to her child. Right. And that's why, and I think, so it was that interview that my hard drive crashed. And I didn't have a secondary backup, which I do now all the time. And I was an IT geek, so I spent days trying to, remember when I spent, like, we still lived in Naples? I spent days trying to recover the hard drive with all, like, the tools, and I spent a ton of money on software. And I eventually had to spend like $2,200 to send the drive out to get the data off it, because I couldn't say, hey, you know that awesome interview we did? Can you shut that kid up for a second? Can we do it all over again? Which I did have to do one other time. I had to redo an interview.
Who was the interview?
Steven, the D23 guy. Who was the head of D23? Right, that guy. We had to redo an interview. No, it wasn't. But nobody else knew except me and him. So Stephen Williams says, I agree. The cruise and his concert was amazing, and he was so nice.
He really was.
And I will never forget. Where's my kid? Like, Marion, what is the greatest moment ever in your life that you will remember and appreciate forever? Yeah, the Sherman thing. The fact that Richard Sherman sang you happy birthday.
Yeah.
I just like cried, and I was like, you are dad of the flipping year right now. And I literally leaned into her and I said, you can never ever forget this moment. And
that was 4 now. I wish that was a 7-day, but still only
what was most impressive? That was very nice. I never read these ahead of time. Were the outstanding questions you prepared from Richard Sherman? You brought out some excellent responses from him. That's the lawyer in you coming out, because you never ask a question that you don't either know the answer to or want to start directing people down a certain path. And so many times I think we hear interviews, especially in the Disney space, of people who are just not prepared, who don't know their guests. And I think it's disrespectful to them. Like, if they're giving you their time, you better believe I'm going to be prepared. Let's see. Congratulations, 5. Oh, Jeremy McBride, thank you so much. Stephen Gwynn says, new to the box, but after 500 episodes, I feel comfortable enough to admit that I've dreamt about Lou and little Timmy Foster. Stephen, I'm gonna decreep this for a second. When you say Lou and Timmy Foster, you mean separately, I hope? Yikes. So, Ridley Pearson is still one of my favorite guests, just because he's like the nicest guy in the world. I have to look and see other interviews. Charlie Ridgway, I love. Jim Corcus. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really not an interview.
It's a Jim Corcus show.
It's when we're in person, it's easier because I can sort of like wave him down a little bit. But when we're on the phone, but listen, he's a guy that I don't mind letting him go because he does have such great stories, and his way of thinking and how he sort of connects himself to from one story to another.
For me, it's Tony Baxter. It was actually
Okay.
We were driving down, and she introduced me. She's like, "Hey, I got this guy I really like. Listen to this thing." And I'm like, "Okay."
Which is normally not what you want to hear. Hey, I got this guy that I really like. You should.
I spend hours every week, honey, listening to this guy.
I'm secure.
Does everybody remember the old Walt Disney World Inside Out shows on the Disney Channel?
Yes.
J.D. Roth. So when I interviewed J.D. Roth, he was a nice guy. He was cool. Let's see. I'm looking back.
Bobby, Mouseketeer?
So I'm looking to see, let's see, Al Konechny, Alan Menken. He was great. Alan was great. Let's see. I don't want to. What are you doing behind me?
Nothing.
Sit down.
I'm just standing for a second.
Don't make me reach into my bag of tricks.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Stan Soul says, to this day, one of the nicest men I've ever met was Ron Cohey.
Oh, yeah.
And that's true. Like,
Can we have him back?
he is a good
Take him on
guy.
another cruise.
Um,
Yeah, can we see if he'll go on Oscar with us?
I'm sure he would love to come back.
I want to go to the work.
Where did James get off the ship to go again? Don't say it out loud. No. We don't say.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. Let's see.
I have a question. Did you ever have a food review that you couldn't post because it just wasn't good food?
Yes.
Did you?
Yeah. And we stopped part of the way through.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was a last minute kind of thing, and we went somewhere. I won't say where it was. It's since changed, so I'm happy that we didn't post it. But yeah, we went for like I think it was breakfast, and everything about it was bad. Like every single part about it was just awful. And then I found like 2 weeks later they announced that they were closing, and I'm like, okay, so they're just sort of phoning it in.
That
But
was Waffle House there for a second.
no, I love Waffle House. Who likes Waffle House?
There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, my.
We should have done this at Waffle House. They would have loved us. It's still we can go after. It's still open.
So many levels of no.
Smothered baby all day.
That's the way to do it. And a 25-cent coffee, it's so good. And what's nice about Waffle House is that they never clean the grill, so it's just like years and years, right?
That's what makes it good.
Extra flavor.
See that? I know we're going late night tonight.
Extra magical.
Everything. Yep.
Great. Hi, Jackie.
Let me see. I have to double check something here. So, I want to double check a fact here because I'm almost sure. All right, so here's a trivia question. You can't look and cheat, Becky.
What?
Other than like recurring guests and segments and stuff on shows, I've interviewed 2 people 3 times on the show. Who are they? If you get it, I'll show you what's in the bag. Slow down back there.
Do I get to phone a friend?
You can phone anybody that's in this room.
Scott Otis.
But you've got 10 seconds. I've interviewed 2
Dude.
people 3 times on the show.
Dude.
I think I got one.
Go ahead.
Ridley Pearson?
Nope.
No?
Nope. And Corcus doesn't count because
Why?
he's not an interview. He keeps coming like he's a recurring guest. Samantha Brown is 2. Who? Nope.
I was going to say that.
Oh, what the heck's his name?
You'll never get one of them. You'll never, ever get one of them.
I can't remember his name. The Disney geek?
No.
Yeah.
Epstein? Was he on
You
3
would-
times?
He's been on 3 times.
Well, but not like in
Are
sit
you
down
calling
like
him
in.
a recurring guest too?
Yeah, he is a recurring guest. He's like a part of the show. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
He hasn't read his contract,
I was
but
just making up rules.
I know this.
Justin Machoni,
Okay.
Justin Machoni, and Charlie Ridgway.
Really? Really? I should have got Justin. I should have thought of it. But then you said, oh, he
But
was
you
a
don't care.
recurring part of the show.
No. So I'll tell you who my dream interview is. And it's not Bob Iger, because if you interview Bob Iger, he gives you anyway. He's got to give you the He's got to give you the corporate answer.
If I answer it correctly, can we see the grease tape?
No, because you know the answer already. Because we've talked about it. Because you've asked me this question before. Rich O'Kane. It's not Ice Cube. It's not. It's not Ridley Scott. Happy birthday, Kelly Daniel. So Fred Abley knows who it is. And
I think I know.
who is it?
Eisner, right?
Eisner. Yeah. Yeah. Not Nunes. Not Nunes. We know, right?
Really?
Yeah. He's not the happiest guy on the planet.
Well,
It would definitely be interesting.
Would you be interested in Iger now, after all the
No.
acquisitions and all the?
No, because
How
he's
about
still.
after he leaves the company.
When he leaves the company, then we'll talk. I want him to be like the Disney legends are now. Because the Disney legends are now, as they get more advanced in age, they got nothing to lose. Man, they just let it fly. Like, they don't. Bob Gurr has no problem sharing anything that you want to know about anything.
Oh, Tony Baxter's pretty open too.
Yeah.
About things going on.
Yeah. Matt, no, it's not Mr. T. It's not Vanilla Ice. I've interviewed Joe like at events and stuff like that, but never a full sit down. No, Frank, it's not Olga either. Katrina says I should interview the Becky puppet with the Becky voice.
Wow. No, we shouldn't do that. Let's talk about Olga for a minute, though. It's been a while since we talked about Olga. And there was some other. You said that there was another one in your past. You were going to bring up
Scott
something, but
Otis
you didn't.
or anybody else.
Yeah.
It is.
I found her last name at one point.
No, you didn't.
I did too.
Tell me. Whisper it to me. Because you don't know it. You
I
don't know it.
Yes.
I know you don't know it.
Oh,
It's
no.
It is literally impossible for you to know it.
It is not literally impossible.
It is.
Because
What does it begin with? What does it begin with? I'll give you the grease tape. What, you said R? You're wrong.
I know, but that's not it.
And see, if you would have known it, you would have said it because I just
No, it
offered
was-
you the grease tape.
It was a very common,
Yeah, whatever.
it was a common Spanish name. Yeah.
Scott Otis, what was the longest show I ever did? Other than not including 40 hours, but longest actual like podcast, single episode.
Terry, it's
Between 2 and 3 hours.
it's waiting.
It's like a 245 or something like that, wasn't it?
So, according to the Matrix, the longest show was show 100 at 157 minutes. 100 show roundtable, and then it was one at 154 minutes, which was the year in the review, 2000.
40-hour show longest.
But it wasn't an actual podcast. Like, it wasn't an actual like podcast show.
What did you talk about for that long on 100?
We did a 100th show roundtable with Glenn Whalen, Tim Foster, Lori Burke, and George.
George?
George.
Who's George?
Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Don't you worry about that.
It's totally before my time. Okay.
Who won the co-host for the day contest? No. Not eligible to. It was Lori Burke. It was Lori Burke.
Jen Hoffman and family have to leave.
You can't go. I want to get. Can I hug you off camera? Because if I get away from here, I don't trust her by herself. Thank you so much.
I wouldn't trust me
I
by
love and
myself
appreciate
either.
you.
So love and appreciate you too. So proud of you. Awesome job.
I'm so
Congratulations
proud of
on
you.
500.
You were awesome today. Thank you.
Say thank you. Good job, man.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon. Healthymoving.com. It's what? Don't. I will shut this computer down.
What? What?
She knows what she's not allowed to do, and it involves singing. Did I interview Ron? No, I never interviewed Ron Miller.
Oh, yeah.
Stephen Williams says I drove all the way from New York to Boston listening to show number 100. There were. Stop it. You keep going. I swear this is the last show I'll ever do. What was the first ever 2-part show that I ever did? That I had to break it up into 2 parts.
It was an expo, was it?
China?
Nope.
I'm sorry. Can you say the question again?
What was the first show that I ever did that I broke it up into 2 parts?
I don't listen, so I don't know.
I know you don't. I am not worried about you answering any of these questions.
I know what our favorite was, but I don't know.
Neil, there's all
I
those
have to
people
find
who
it.
probably haven't seen the outside of the grease tape. You might want to show it to them. There's a bunch of
They
people who
don't-
join since.
They don't worry about it. It looks like it's
Just grab a VHS tape and put grease on it. Just
maybe. Maybe the original might be hermetically sealed somewhere in a time capsule.
we don't want to lose that. I think we should take it somewhere and put it on.
No, I think we're good.
What was the first two-parter? Yeah, what was the first two-parter?
Jeff Curdy. The Jeff Curdy interview.
What did you talk about with Jeff that was over 2 parts?
Everything. We did a 2-part Adventures by Disney to China, and then the Great Movie Ride with Jim Korkis was the only other one that I did in 2 parts.
That's actually the good one. Jeff Curdy's actually
Yeah.
one of the music.
Hey, man. Thank you, brother. You're a good man, Charlie Brown. We got to get together and do some lunch one of these days. Well, now I do, but... Sweetheart, thank you so much for my artwork. I really appreciate it. I will cherish it forever, and I will put it upstairs as soon as I'm done here. You're the best. Let's see. Hollywood's Walkthrough with Jim Korkis. That was a 2-parter. Why doesn't Becky have a green drink in her hand?
I don't know. Why don't
Because they know you so well. It
I
actually
have
worked
water.
out.
I'm being good. I'm having water.
Thank God. Listen, I made sure. Listen. The mantra today was hide the booze before you got here. So we wanted to make sure. Yeah.
Wait. I've sent you 12 bottles in reserve.
I know, and they're in the reserve.
Have you ever cracked one of them?
They're in the basement. They're in the wine cellar.
Great.
They're in the wine cellar.
See, Dave does know me well. Yeah. Why aren't you mixing?
What was for anybody, whether you were there, your favorite event that we ever did?
I know mine is.
Great Movie Ride dinner.
Really?
I loved it.
We were so close to that second one. So close.
So cool. Tower Terror dinner was good
The
too.
Tower of Terror one sounded cool too. I didn't get to do that one.
That's the one we got to do again. I wrote that. We got to do that one.
I changed my mind because walking around the lobby of the Tower of Terror, like when they just kind of dropped the velvet ropes and were like, "Go ahead in and take pictures."
So other ones include the Adventurers Club, which was really like the first
I was gonna say,
one that we did.
Why don't you name all of the events that we've done together?
Adventurers Club, Tower of Terror, the American Adventurers Club, the Great Movie Ride, World of Color out in Disneyland, if you want to throw that one in there too. Like events in Disney.
Or events.
Like, well, because we've done a lot of stuff like this. These don't count.
The Land and Sea event we did first.
Right.
With Peter Pan.
Yep, Peter Pan showed up.
That was fun.
Peter Pan was not me in green tights. Let's be clear. Just like I also am not the person that sings the WDW Radio theme song either.
You did the 200th episode party at Ariel's.
Yeah.
That was when I told you I moved here. That was excellent.
Didn't we do one of the anniversary shows at Old Key West?
Yep.
Old
Yep.
Key West?
Yep.
I don't remember what anniversary it was. Though.
It was the same year that the 102 came out.
Okay.
Because that's when he told me that he had done it.
So it's 2015, 14, 2014.
Probably 2014, 2015, something like that.
I should probably know these things. A lot of people said Adventure Club.
The Adventures Club was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing.
Well,
Especially pulling it off the way I had to at the last minute.
and the fact that it was the last, like we sort of had the last time before the executives did it the night after, and then that was it. I thought the American Adventurers Club was cool because nobody ever done it before.
It was written specifically
Right.
for us.
And it was sort of an American version of the. We weren't allowed to call it the American Adventures Club, but I called it the American Adventures Club anyway. So, I liked Great Movie Ride. I liked being able to walk through the Great Movie Ride, and that's hard because there's not a lot of other. So where else? Watch,
Okay.
because I know what the answer is going to be. Stop.
Sorry.
Where else? What other attraction or pavilion or location in Walt Disney World would you like to have a private WDW Radio event? That's for you too. Not them. Not. Where else would you like to have it? It's about the size of that space that you're occupying right there.
You could put 6 people in that.
The Savannah
That's a good one.
Like on the savannah?
giraffes and all that.
No, there's the platform up there.
Yeah, but you can do that for the.
I know.
Not to spoil it, but you know when you do Wild Africa Trek. But you can't do anything.
Yeah, you just ride it and then
Right. What about Haunted Mansion? Yeah, you understand like the Haunted Mansion. So everybody here is saying Haunted Mansion, Pandora, Pirates.
I do know Pirates.
No,
They don't.
there's no real area.
Tower of Terror. Have dinner on the stage in Carousel of Progress. We did have one, and we won't say what it was.
Yeah.
We did have one that was tying into one of the audio guides. That we had it like
There.
ready to go, and then because they were doing construction on New Fantasyland, they needed that space and would not let us use it.
I was heartbroken. That
John Delancey says number 1 rhymes with Schmote House. A lot of Pandoras, a lot of Haunted Mansions, a lot of Haunted Mansion and Pandoras.
what would you do in Pandora?
That'd be fun with all the thingamabobs.
But there's,
You'd feel bad.
inside of Tron, Haunted Mansion, Dinosaur, and a lot of those venues are. You can, walkthroughs. Assume that you can do a walkthrough. That's one thing, but there's actually like, where would you go to have a dinner? That would be. So one of the places that they kept saying was an option for a long time was Universe of Energy, and you're like, oh, okay. There's dinosaurs and Ellen, and that was about it. So we're getting a lot of to Mystic Manors, Pirates in Shanghai. So that was another event that was really close.
Which one?
Imagination Pavilion. Like we were.
You guys
like,
wonder what I do all day? It's these negotiations. Really?
Wait a minute.
I have one word for you: Disneyland. Let's not even go there. Both of us will
You know
cry.
what? That
will still
that
cry.
wound
You
that
and I.
wound is still deep.
Yep.
And but
Yeah.
but
What?
who did the Disneyland
I do need it.
first ever scavenger hunt?
I did. I hate you still.
What'd you so? Despite the hatred,
I enjoyed it. It was just.
A lot of Toontown.
a lot of what?
A lot of Toontown.
Yeah, a lot of Toontown. I never want to step in Toontown USA ever again. But it made, like, I had been in Toontown. I mean, this is only my second trip to Disneyland. And so we did Toontown a little bit. We did Roger Rabbit Cartoon Spin and all that. But I never really looked at all the detail that was in that until we did the scavenger hunt.
And that's why I put so many questions there, because I knew you.
Shade, it was so hot.
Can you just do that in the Becky voice? Because that's.
There was no shade and it was so hot.
Oh,
Don't cancel my vacation. Please don't cancel my vacation.
I'm gonna cough on you.
but it was.
Really?
That was part of the point. Was I wanted you to go to places that you didn't spend a lot of time. Like there was also a lot on Main Street, but Main Street's sort of an obvious choice. But that was part of the challenge. That's why it was called a
I was
challenge.
impressed because I'd never been there. That was my first trip to Disneyland.
Right.
And it was, like, doable. Like, I felt like we were, I mean, we weren't, like, major competitors, but we did okay.
You scored better than you think that you did.
We finished fourth. I still call shenanigans.
On
Somebody
what?
used their phone.
Yeah, I think so.
You think so? I don't think that your phone would have helped you very
And I also
much.
didn't know you couldn't talk, that you could talk to cast members. I thought you couldn't talk. I thought you couldn't talk to cast members.
There was nothing in the rules that said you could not talk to cast members. I said you couldn't call anybody, and you were on the honor system not to use your phone to look stuff up. I didn't. I specifically did not mention.
Because they kept offering to help us, and I thought we were being entrapped.
We went around to every single cast member.
So you.
For advice.
If anybody
So-
speaks to you today, ignore them, whether they have a piece of paper or not.
So, you think that I'm that much of a jerk that I would have tried to entrap you?
Entrapment maybe, not sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Shannon King did the quest. She didn't say that she actually won the quest, And I'm sure. Are you saying that she cheated?
No.
Is that something you'd want to do again?
Totally.
Here?
I'd be down for here.
The only problem with here. No. Is that some knucklehead made these audio tours that have all kinds of questions and information about the park.
So then don't do Magic Kingdom. Do one of the other 3 parks.
God.
You didn't make audio guides for there yet.
I would own it.
Or did I?
I would own an Epcot Quest.
Really?
Of course.
So wait a minute. Are you sort of throwing down the gauntlet that if I did an Epcot Quest and announced it tonight, that you would almost guarantee the top spot, or at least the top 2?
So we get you to announce it tonight. Yeah.
Richard says, which one of the audio tours was the most fun to make? I think I found that I learned the most in Liberty Square because I really sort of dug deep into it. So yeah, I like. I mean, Main Street maybe, but just for sentimental reasons because it was the first one. But I liked doing. I liked doing Liberty Square a lot. So. So you'd want to do a Walt Disney World. Oh shoot! Here comes Becky.
Wants to do what?
Nothing.
Oh, really? I brought goldfish. What? So you want to do a what? Somebody tell me. What does he want to do?
Don't you worry.
Really?
Don't you worry.
Seriously?
Yeah. All right. So
Why?
I think
are we
I think this froze up again. Hold on.
Okay,
Wow,
so
that
what
was from a
did you
long
say
time.
we're doing?
That was from a long. Don't.
Really? Seriously? You're
Recording
really?
this, you know. So.
That's true. I will guarantee you, Becky will never go back and listen, ever.
Well, I will now. Where are we? Minute what?
All right.
Oh,
I want you to.
1:47.
I want you to. I'm going to go around the horn. I want you to finish this sentence. I'll start this way. Because of WDW Radio, I blank.
Sorry.
Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird.
I met a lot of people, and as well as being from Chicago, I met a lot of people from Chicago.
Right.
So,
So what do? I think.
Oh.
Go ahead.
ran a lot more miles, and being new to the area, met a lot of people from Chicago, so you have that connection.
Okay. Terry? It's not going to go that far.
I moved here to start the project that I'm working on.
Okay.
Ask your wife.
Hold on, I'm trying to get more slack on here. Thank you. Because of WDW Radio, you...
Right here.
Can we come back to you at the end? Please be gentle and keep it to 10 seconds.
I have been so fortunate to meet some of the most important people in my life, and I am so grateful for how far you have come, for what you have built and created, not only for me, but for our wonderful family. If it wasn't for you, we would not have moved here, and I never in a million years would have thought that we would have moved here. If you would have told me 10 years ago that we would have moved to Florida, I would have said, Lewis, you're crazy. There's no way in hell I'm leaving. And it was the best decision you ever made for our
You
family.
still say that I'm crazy.
Well, we know that.
For different reasons, you still
But
say that I'm crazy.
I am so fortunate to have what you built for us on so many different levels, and I'm grateful beyond words. So thank you, and I love you.
Well, I have news for you.
We're not moving. We're not moving. We are not leaving. I am not packing up another house.
I missed the law
that's
so
it.
much.
No, but
We're
I
going back
do
to
remember the second that you came down the stairs and you said to me, Deanna, I think it's ready to move to Florida. And I looked at you and I said, you know what? I think you're right. I think that night you went and you started packing.
I was running down the stairs as you were saying you were
I really
right.
believe,
like you were finishing the sentence.
yes, I believe that night you started packing because I don't think you ever thought in a million years I'd say to you, yes, let's go.
Nope.
And literally within 2-3 weeks, we had the house on the market. We had
And we
just
didn't sell it in 2 weeks.
no.
But
We had just finished the last bathroom. The last
Don't go,
bathroom
please.
in the house. It was our
you ever
forever
see the Money
house.
Pit?
It was the money pit. It was
was the Money
truly.
Pit. We
I
lived in
had
the Money Pit.
dreams of me coming home and Lewis was hanging from like the floor from like the two story. It was ridiculous. We had lickable wallpaper. Remember?
I unfortunately
We
I
had
did.
one in the kitchen.
In our kitchen.
In our
Did you ever see Willy
kitchen.
Wonka? Our
When we bought the
wallpaper,
house.
It was like all these little like rows of fruits and berries, and we walked in and we started like licking the wallpaper
It was
because
like
that's what it
from
looked like. It looked
Willy
like
Wonka.
Willy Wonka like
yeah,
wallpaper.
like it was crazy. And then the wallpaper in the foyer was so thick.
They
that when
didn't when they did modifications to the house, they didn't strip the old wallpaper. They just kept on layering on. So the guy pulled the wallpaper off, and it stood up straight.
up. Yeah.
Because it was like that thick.
Yeah, and it was
of wallpaper.
textured. So not only did it stand straight up, but all the texture was still left in the foyer. And it was a 4-bedroom Seton Hall Colonial.
I don't
It was
even
awful.
think about it anymore.
Like yeah, I agree. But anyway, so that was supposed to be sincere. I know, Deanna, you're wonderful. I love you too. Mwah.
Because of WDW Radio, I have fallen in love with well over 1,000 people. Wow, you get around, and I'm forever. That's
Love.
Is it really love? And that's Ricky DJ Technoid Reed.
Extreme Light?
So, no, we love DJ Technoid Ricky
Yes,
Reed.
we do.
Who has done so? He did so many mixes for us too. Sorry,
Very kind to me and
Because of
wonderful.
WDW Radio, I had the most coincidental meeting with a Englishman at the Tokyo Dining.
And that Englishman would be?
Oh, our good friend Martin, who's Brill.
Who was very brill. Who just said the world is smaller. So many new friends because of the show.
Oh my gosh, Tony actually said something. that
Did he say
was
something?
out. Yeah.
I didn't read it because I just sort of
That's
block
really
it
nice.
out.
I know.
Because of W Radio, I have new family members.
Oh.
That must have been Charlene. There's no way he wrote that. Because of W Radio, I spend most of my vacation spending money on food because of the show. That's Emma McLaughlin from the UK.
Because of WDW Radio, I made it through the hardest time in my life.
Oh. Was that when you couldn't get a reservation at Boathouse? Was that it?
I wish it was something.
I ditto that one. That was because of you guys. Seriously, I felt like when I thought I lost everything, I had friends all over the world, and it was just there was always a person to lean on, and it was because of this community that you built. So, and everyone is just like magical. Everyone clicks, and you meet so many people that just fit right in. Well, some not so magical, but honestly, it's because of you that I run too. Because
Sorry about
I know,
that.
right? Tomorrow's 20 miles. Yeah, that's gonna.
I just realized how much money I've cost you people on food and running.
When you wanted to cry the most, the show and the people made you smile the most.
Really, yeah, and sometimes it's because of that you'd message somebody and you needed a friend right then, and there's always that friend right there that will message you back and be right there, and you're not alone when you think you are. So I mean, there's so much more that you've created than meets the eye, really. And you've shown me the world, because I never would have gone to Alaska. I never would have taken these cruises. And when I did, and I thought, I don't want to travel by myself. At 5 a.m. when I was in my PJs trying to get coffee, someone was like, "Hi, Beatrice Feeney." I'm like, "I haven't fixed my hair." But but I wasn't alone, and then I'd run on the deck with these guys. So, there's so much more to it, and we thank you for that.
Tony says, I mostly meant Deanna, not so much you, Jacknut.
Wow,
Thanks.
I have to follow
Yeah.
that up. Jeez. Okay, because of you guys, I've made a ton of friends, people I probably wouldn't be friends with otherwise, and tried a lot of food and a lot of restaurants I wouldn't have tried otherwise.
Wait, you gotta get your parents back there.
That's Mom and Dad?
Because of WDW Radio and the running team, I get up at 4:30 in the morning. And it's dark and it's cold, and we get in the car and we drive to Epcot so we can get on a monorail and we can go all the way over to Magic Kingdom.
Wait, do you get a medal?
And did get a medal. I do. We did. And we get to we get to go.
Mommy and Daddy are
stand-
fighting again.
We get to go stand with our friends and with people that we have met from all over, not just all over the country, but all over the world. and it's fun, and it might be dark and it might be cold, but it's magical and it's fun, and we thank you.
And God, we thank you for every single time we see you on that course. You do not know what you guys do for us, and I am so grateful every time I see you and your husband. I mean it. It is the greatest feeling. So thank you.
Are we talking about running? We're still talking about running again? Oh, my God. I'm exhausted just listening to it. Wait. What was the best, for those who cheer, what was the best cheering event? You better believe it. New Orleans, man. Oh, my God.
As we run marathons and we pull out of strangers' hands.
All right, my turn. Because of WDW Radio and Lou Moncello, I have met some amazing people who also are like family. I came to the show from a different avenue because I was on the Moms panel and blogging myself and kind of met him that way, but then I met everyone else that was, part of the WDW Radio family. Because of that, I met this guy. And we got married almost 2 years ago.
You did?
Yeah,
I didn't see any pictures about it on Facebook.
Oh, really? I'll do a few more. Also, I met Becky Menken and got a job when I really needed a pick-me-up in my life and had to kind of start over from square one. So everyone and, Deanna and the whole gang and all the family has been like family to me when, I really needed people to be there. So it's been life-changing, to say the least. So thank you.
Ditto. No, seriously. I was part of this family pretty early on, I would say, but definitely because of Lou and the WDW Radio show, I definitely have a lot more family members, and both immediate and also with some great friends, and I've had a lot of really just fantastic times that we've all had together. So, thank you, Lou.
What's your favorite time that we've ever had together? Don't say the incident.
Well, I probably.
Do you all know what the incident is, by the way?
No. Let's not reenact it, please.
I could do it.
No.
No, I'd say probably that time that we roomed together back
Dude.
at Disneyland.
Because of you, I will never room with anyone ever again.
See, I'm good for something.
Never.
Your wife barely gets in there after that.
Yeah.
Scenario,
I still think that you're imagining things.
Am I?
Yeah.
It's all right. Moving on.
Thank you.
Oh, boy.
No, I'm going to wait.
Oh, God.
I'll
I
go
need
last.
my moment in the sun to shine.
You sure?
Oh, yeah.
Because of WDW Radio, I left my job.
No one gets it. She's never been teased for like 4 years.
You were not supposed to.
I know, that's what I said. No. Listen, none of the decisions that I've made have been.
I mean, I make some decisions, maybe. At least some of the good ones. Like dining decisions, maybe?
Dining decisions.
Okay.
But this is bigger. None of the decisions that I've made have been because of you and this group, but they've been so much better because of this group. The things that I have done in the last couple of years, I think I've done with so much more confidence because of this wonderful family and the fact that somebody else had made the same crazy decisions. The miles I run are longer. The move was so much easier knowing that I was coming into this family. Everything about the last couple of years has been better because of this family that you've built. So thank you.
How am I supposed to say something after that? Because of all this, I made friends I'm going to have for the rest of my life. I never thought I'd run a marathon. I'm going to be running my third in January. I couldn't even run a mile in high school. And now I'm running marathons. I moved to Florida. Like, it was really one of the driving reasons that made me realize that I'm happy here more than I was when I lived up in New York. And also that there were other people out there like me that were huge Disney fans all over the country. Like, you didn't have to be here to, there wasn't. I talk about Disney to all my friends when I lived up in New York, and they were like, God, you're talking about Disney again? And here there are people that I can actually talk to about Disney, and they get it like I do. So, yeah.
Your Majesty, this is my moment to show. Why don't you listen? Just move your lips, and I'll do the voice for you. I'll do like a voiceover for you.
Because of WDW Radio, I drink.
I think you did that before we met. You might drink more.
No. Let's see. I probably would have more airline miles but it's okay to spend those because it's been great times. I think because of WDW Radio, I learned how to go to bed at 4 o'clock in the afternoon to try to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go hang out on the side of the road to cheer people. I never would have had the fun of the sweaty hug. That's still my favorite. Yeah. That's still my proudest moment. For those who don't know, I'm going to tell the story because it's going to change. I need some ideas. You're out there every morning, right? And by the fourth time or the sixth year or so, it was getting, a little tedious. Sorry, it was. I wanted to jazz it up. So we texted the running team, and Lou didn't know it. We texted the running team and said, $1 for every sweaty hug, up to $5, depending on how sweaty he ends up being.
Don't encourage her.
It was awesome. So he didn't know it. So we're standing there, and all these people are running by and just grabbing him and hugging him and rubbing themselves all over him. And by about the 20th person, he looks at me, he goes, what the heck is going on? I'm like going, they just love you. They really, really care about you, the person, and they want to show you. They could be a lot less wet if they did. So by about the 50th person, he got it. There was something going on. Deanna had come by that point. And I remember, Deanna, you looked at me and you said, I've been telling people as I've been running to come and hug the guy that's in blue. So, the sweaty hug thing is gone. It's had its run. It's been wonderful. We need some new ideas. So if anybody has any great ideas about what could possibly I liked your idea, but that might be our flaw. That's our plan B.
Excuse me?
If nothing else comes up, the plan B.
You had the idea?
She is fabulous. Your wife is fabulous. More than anything. More than anything. This has introduced me to another family. And I have a sister over there that I love to pieces. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your wife. And I have a little bratty brother that I never knew I ever wanted one. And I have one now. Who apparently does a really horrible job of impersonating me. From what I understand. And I never knew that I ever, because of WDW Radio, I've never wanted to get my hands on a VHS tape as badly as I ever wanted to have one in my hand right now. And there's one close, so I hear. You need to go to the bathroom or something, don't you?
You
it's time for you to take a break. Deanna and I could take over for a little
while.
Do
you even still have a VHS? Say what?
I'll take over.
You want to keep it?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Let your daughter take over. So why don't you go to the bathroom or something?
No, why don't we not?
All right, now, okay.
So come here. So because, I want you to finish the sentence. Because of WDW Radio, I what? Finish that sentence. She's my daughter. Of course she has a mouthful of food.
He's got this habit of doing that. Any food review we've done, you'd stick the mic in my mouth while I'm in the middle of trying to chew something.
That's...
I'm like, really, right now?
That's the whole point.
This is a signal. This is a signal.
Dean says, because of WDW Radio, I'm going to my first trip to Disneyland next year. Meet you soon.
Oh, because of WDW Radio, we live in Florida. There you go. That's easy.
I don't know why I was so nervous about what you were potentially going to say.
Give it a couple of years.
No. I think we're...
Yeah.
You're going to push your luck
Because
here.
of WDW Radio, I have been exposed to a lot of food.
You have.
There you go.
Because of all the food that you've been exposed to, what is something that new that you've tried and loved that you never would have eaten otherwise?
I don't know.
Oysters?
Oysters.
Oysters,
There you
yeah.
go. She's had oysters though. No.
No, I
not
don't think so.
before Boathouse. Oh, really?
No.
Okay, here comes Nick.
Nicholas, finish his sentence. Come here.
No, you got this.
Finish his sentence. Because of WDW Radio, I blank.
Know what the Boathouse is?
That's why he's my favorite son. I think that's a perfect answer. That's a perfect answer. No, I think that's a good answer.
Very good answer.
Because finish the sentence. Because of WDW Radio, I blank.
I have the most amazing family that I chose. Not the family I was born with, but I consider myself blessed every day for every single person I've met through WDW Radio, some more than others. It's been a life-altering experience. I now live in Florida. Never thought I would actually get to live that dream. I have a dream job, and a lot of that has come from the relationships and the experiences I've had since starting to listen to Mouse Tunes way back when.
Wow.
When I got my one and only Apple product. That was before. I don't know that Mouse Tunes, was it ever on the non-iTunes platform?
It was. So when Mouse Tunes first came out, there was no podcasts weren't in iTunes. You had to have software. It's called like Juicer, or there was like 4 or 5 different applications that you could download in order to listen to podcasts. It was just about the time right before they started to be introduced into iTunes. But still to this day, I have to explain to people what a podcast is. So it's still not as.
Episode 2. I missed episode 1. I had to go back.
You didn't miss much. You didn't miss much.
I was traveling for work in a lot of little towns that didn't really have good radio stations, and it was before you had these, satellite radios and all of that. So I would load up my iPod with every episode of Mouse Tunes and listen to them over and over because there were no other Disney podcasts at that point. It was just Mouse Tunes.
Michael says, because of WDW Radio, I had to get a bigger data plan on my iPhone. What was your favorite episode ever of the show?
That's easy, and it hasn't changed over all of, even though I've listened to every episode except for the ones I'm on. It's the Richard Sherman episode. Yeah. That I could listen to every week and never grow tired of the stories.
Wow. That really surprised me.
Why? That surprises you?
She would listen to you at every She said Richard Sherman. Not she said Richard
Yeah.
Sherman. On the show.
It's a lot of Lou.
Every single week. Every week. I love that episode. Every week. His show.
Now, I checked my stats earlier today. There are at least three people listening to the show every week. At least 3.
I'll remember that. That's
At least
good
3.
to know.
I said at least 3. You can't. Where'd she go? That's a smart move, kid. Mm-hmm. Your birthday's coming up. Just remember that. The box nights when they accidentally gave out the room number will always be one of my favorite WWE. David, that is not one of my favorite moments. That is not one of my favorite moments. Don't give out our home address.
I'm not going to.
Don't.
That was the funniest and worst night of my life, I think.
Yeah. I don't know, but fortunately it went by already.
Well, the interesting
let's
thing
see.
was how many people ended up showing up that night.
Yeah.
That was funny.
That was not funny.
No.
So Ricky says episode 461. Oh, he's given love to Martin. That was snacking our way around the UK.
Oh, okay.
Because of WDW Radio, Thursday mornings have never been the same. What happened? Oh, because this is the middle of the night. Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Because of WDW Radio, I now have to walk around every morning to support my newfound eating habits. Because of WDW Radio, I'm taking a leap of faith. I'll tell you if it works out. And because I.
That's why he only picks them up now for emphasis.
I've never in there for like one of these shows. Wow, Lou, you got a nice setup here. I'm really impressed.
Holy cow!
This is good.
I just.
Oh yeah, don't.
Really? Oh my.
He's blind.
Wow.
He's blind.
That's.
Oh, Frank. Hello, Frank.
Wow. All right.
Hello,
Good to know.
Luke.
Our UK, us, Jill McCann says us UKers lose sleep every Wednesday night.
Martin. Hello, Martin.
Joe
Thanks,
St. Vincent,
Joe.
oh, don't suck up and say
Thanks,
listener
Joe.
emails.
I appreciate that.
I love listener emails with Becky.
Oh.
What's your favorite segment on the show? Not you, because you don't listen. Favorite segments on the show, or favorite shows that you like? Keep listener emails out of the equation because Her Majesty's sitting here.
Thanks. Appreciate that too.
Way back? Come on, McNamara.
Thank you.
Because
I
DSIs?
appreciate that.
There's so much work.
I put
So much work.
much effort and energy into getting through. It's it's nice to be appreciated. I appreciate that.
I like the end music. Because of WDW Radio, I've gone up at least one pant size.
Hi, Gail.
I'm working to make my dream career a reality. You should really introduce your wife to the show and have her listen to at least one episode.
Wait, who said that?
Father Christopher, so...
Oh, Christopher, I do. I do listen.
No, you don't.
Occasionally.
Never.
I do.
Let me see your
Really?
phone. Let me see your phone.
Nope.
Top tens. What's an episode that I've never done that you would like me to do? Or an interview? And somebody write this down in case it's a good idea. Something I've never done before.
Snacks in Japan.
I actually did, years ago, I did a video. Oh, no, it actually wasn't Snacks in Japan, but I did, with Glenn, I tried like the crabs, the little dried crabs. I think I grabbed like...
Oh, I remember that.
I remember that.
Yeah. That was a long time ago.
No, the best was the squishy salmon.
No. Oh, in terms of things I've gotten in the mail.
The best was the plums, the pickled plums.
Oh, my God. What?
Oh, no.
Not these pickled plums.
No.
No, not these. These. If Satan himself were to birth something, and that's what it was, it was foul. Like it was rotten.
It
Like
was one of the first years.
It's where there's.
He didn't even try that. I know, but
It had to be.
I'm gonna eat that one day. I'm so
The 1,000-year-old egg.
I always wanted to try one.
He was good enough to try things that people brought.
Right,
So
right.
we were at Mouse Meats
Right.
up in the Seattle area, and somebody had brought you this wonderful basket of stuff. So you were trying one thing after another, and then you opened this wonderful jar, which I don't remember if it's actually popped when it opened or not. So it could have been that had been sitting there for quite some time.
In the heat, probably.
And the setup was like this, so it's facing the camera, and behind us is a dock area, right, with a door. And he put this thing in his mouth, and his face turned about 7 shades of purple and red, and he looked like he was going to throw up right there on camera. So he took off. Jeremy and I are standing there watching this all go down. He runs one direction, and Jeremy and I look at each other, and then he runs the other direction.
It was like a cartoon, right? It was like a cartoon, right?
Somewhere to spit out this wonderful pickled plum. But I think that you still said that was the most disgusting thing that you've ever
They are
eaten. That was
big, though. Like they're Japanese.
Yeah, but I'm with you, but I have to believe that this one was
It had to be.
spoiled
We have to get you a proper one.
because it tasted like death. Like it tasted like death.
It smelled horrible.
No, I mean there was something wrong with this.
It smelled so bad.
The pickled plum. By the way, Emma McLaughlin. I actually interviewed Alan Menken on show 196. So she's like, that's the one she said she wanted to hear. There's only 2 things that I've never. What? There's only one thing I've never eaten ever, because I get a lot of weird stuff in the mail. By the way, where's Deanna? Can you do me a favor, please? Seriously, no. in the pantry. No, I'm not sharing the Doritos. Come on. There's in there. It's a bottle. It's called a Branston pickle that Martin sent to me. I think you buried it in the back. Can you please go find that? Because I haven't tried it yet, and he wants me to eat it right now. Because the poor guy, every Wednesday,
Doing that. Well, trivia question.
a Branson pickle. No, so the only thing that I've never eaten was I got a package because so many of you have been generous.
Is this like the pop? Is this like?
No, there's one thing I've never eaten. The salmon. So I got a package from Alaska, and there was all kinds of like salmon jerky, and I open it up and I just try it live on the show, and we do it on Wednesday nights. And in the package was this large thing of sockeye salmon, and it was squishy.
Yeah, they're always packaged that way.
No. It was squishy in a, maybe it didn't have the tightest vacuum seal. This thing has been sitting in a FedEx truck in the Florida heat for like a couple of days, kind of squishy. And I think I made I chose wisely.
How do you tell that squishy from just standard squishy?
Because like, if it was vacuum sealed, I'm an attorney. I know exactly what I'm talking. You can tell when something was sealed properly. Yeah.
Of the salmon in the sealed pouch.
I've tried ghost pepper, Jonathan. You have to eat Branston with cheddar cheese, says Vicky Simpkins. So that's the weirdest thing. I don't know if that's the weirdest thing I've ever gotten. It's the only thing I've never eaten. I've gotten some wacky UK stuff, food-wise, but I always eat it. I try anything.
What were you most scared? We didn't get a chance to go to the place we wanted to in China. So what is the one thing that you were most intimidated
That we didn't go to
try?
China?
Like all the things on the stick. Remember, we were supposed to do that because our flight was delayed and
Right.
we weren't able to. So there was like the scorpion on a stick, all those live little beings on a stick that you just shove in your mouth. What was the one thing you were most scared about?
I don't know because I hadn't seen what my options were in front of me. But I will tell you, that I was disappointed that I didn't get to try the Korean squid, which I know you love the smell of so much.
Oh, you mean the grilled stuff?
Yeah,
The
they grill right there for you, like in the park. Yeah,
Oh
because
my gosh,
it's
you just
raw
walk past it
and
it smells.
it's a very strong.
Distinct, yes.
Yeah, and I love ketchup stick. I love ketchup sticks from
they do.
Canada.
It's like
A musk
flats.
stick? What's a
They,
musk
like
stick?
roll it out really flat and then grill it. Very.
I don't know. I've never heard that. Amanda I would love to try some Aussie fare. You should try the Pocky chip made with Carolina Reaper peppers live one week. Okay.
Carolina Reapers are no joke.
All right, Chris.
For Manning, that might be
These are
scary.
the people I call my friends, but I'll try. I would try it to say that I tried one.
This is a musk stick. It kind of looks like a dog toy, like a dog, like a dog, like teeth thing.
What is that?
I've heard of it.
What's a musk stick made from?
Do we want to know?
Well, actually,
I do.
pull it up. I'll pull it up.
Scott, you gonna finish that?
It could be very rancid.
Did you find it? You found it? Oh.
That's what they put the Branston. I think Branston pickles.
Oh my.
They put
Oh
on the
Lord.
corned beef.
So hi, Martin.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my
I was
God.
kind of hoping it was really hidden. All right.
Okay, wait,
What
hold on.
is that?
Before you do anything,
This is
a musk-
small chunk pickle.
A musk?
Oh no.
That's not.
I'll bring some UK goodies in May in case I need more Branston pickle. Musk stick are delicious.
Musk sticks don't sound
Oh.
very delicious.
The
Made from
duff.
deer.
No, let me actually read the official. It's a substance. So as soon as you hear the word secreted, you know. Oh, it gets better. No, hold it. It's okay. Wait, it gets better. No, come on. No. This can't be this can't be the stick. Oh no, it is. They are.
No.
Wait. All right. It's a substance secreted. It's almost dinner time.
Lovely.
In a glandular sac.
Oh my.
Under the skin of the abdomen
Of a deer.
of the male musk deer, having a strong odor. It doesn't seem to scream delicious candy flavor, but in Australia and New Zealand, there are musk sticks, musk lollies, musk lifesavers, and musk gum.
I'm totally getting that for you for Christmas.
Here. So wait, can I read this? What am I? Whoa! What's going on here?
It's chunky.
Martin
It's
has been
chunky.
texting me and he said you're supposed to have it with hammered cheese.
Well, there's cheese.
Yeah, it's chunky.
Oh, this is gonna be magical.
Oh my god, it's chunky.
I would get it. from
No,
what
wait.
happened-
Amanda Walter says musk sticks are not made of that. She's screaming it.
Okay, from what happened in Seattle, you may want to get a bucket ready.
Yeah, I'm like, I think I want to stand behind him in case it's projected.
Can I smell it? Let me smell it first. No, you're not going to squeeze them.
Can I smell it?
I know where you sleep. Go away. Do not. Don't be mean. Stop.
I'm not being mean. I'm not.
This
I
is
won't-
food.
I wouldn't do that to you. Not right now.
No, it smells like relish.
Yeah.
Oh.
They put it on corned beef.
Yeah, I kind of like this now. Wait a minute. What do I do with this?
You put it on hammered cheese.
Well, how? Oh, I like.
It kind of just smells like barbecue.
No, you could squish it on there. It's a squisher.
Oh my god. It's chunk. That scares me a lot.
All right, wait a minute.
That it's, sausage shouldn't be chunky.
So here's cheddar and ham.
It's like a relish. Here, Marion.
All right. Let me let you see this.
Here, would you like?
Do you want me to hold the camera?
Yes, thank you.
This is the way our new live dining reviews are going to be.
Yeah.
On camera.
Wow. Did you get the chunks in there? Or is that just the
No,
squishy
it's,
stuff?
there's chunks.
I can't even read what's in this thing.
Hi there.
You did all sign a waiver before you walked in the door, didn't you? Get on that, would you? Branston small chunk pickle, huh?
Somebody put the definition of a musk stick, but I can't read it.
All right, so wait. Musk sticks are a popular confection in Australia. Blah, 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 blah. Semi-soft stick, usually pink and often extruded with a rigid cross. Oh, it's gone. Fortunately, it's gone. Yeah, I probably.
Kind of disgusting. Are you gonna eat that, or you just
Yeah.
gonna stare at it?
Just the sound.
I'm letting it breathe like a fine wine. Martin, my friend, he says you've eaten worse, mate.
Mate, I like the mate.
Did you give him a plate? Here.
No, I got
I like
this.
the
Don't
extra
worry.
mate.
It's definitely chunky style. Whatever.
Oh my god, that looks so gross.
He said it's lovely stuff.
It's like baby bites.
Hmm.
Tip your head
You
back.
must-
Pour it down your
Wait a
throat.
minute.
See what happens.
You must not try that. I get it, it's puns.
Wait a minute.
Okay, we need to send Lou Musk everything. No, we don't.
So what does it taste like for everyone?
I don't want
It's
musk
good.
showing up to my house.
It's sweet. Who wants to try some? Who's got it? Who's got?
I'll try it.
Okay, who would like, do you want it on meat or cheese? Cheese, please. Cheese, I like this.
Serve it up.
No. Oh, let her do her own.
Okay, there's
Musky.
some cheese. Got a piece of cheese.
All I can think about is the excruciating.
It's actually really good.
Deer under his stomach.
Cheese, okay.
So Martin, I like that. Lower the camera. He says, "Oh wait a minute, I can't even see what's going on here. Sorry."
Oh, nice job, Dad.
I was trying to eat my.
Barbecue relish.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's sweet though. It's actually really good.
Well, then we didn't do a very good job of sending you stuff, apparently.
That's good.
Yeah, like I would eat that on stuff.
You don't want to try that? No, it's really
Right, so in Alaska, you're going to retry the salmon.
I will retry it, but not when it's been shipped to Florida and been
Okay.
sitting in the FedEx
in
truck.
Alaska, we'll buy one of the pouches, and you can have one.
That's
when
fine.
you-
Serve me up.
okay.
Here,
We'll try it.
do you want to do it yourself? Or here,
Oh no, wrong one.
She says like barbecue relish.
it's really good. I really like it. Now all you want some of my Branston pickle, don't you? Wait,
Definitely not.
guys, come on, man.
On so many levels.
What?
Really?
Can you hold the camera
Really?
still?
Nice. G-rated, family friendly.
You were the one that
You started it.
I said.
Your
who-
daughter is the one holding the camera.
It's really good.
Isn't that really good? You can leave this here. Move that toy. Pardon me, would you care for more Branston pickle? Why don't you try it, Your Majesty?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
It's really. Anybody, you want to try
You have
this?
to bribe
gonna-
her.
It's not weird.
I'm going
Come on,
to carefully
come
unhook
try
one
some.
piece of cheese because I need a toothpick.
Cheese or meat?
Ah, plates are for.
You're not in it.
That was really good. I like that.
Throw some cheddar and some ham on
Is
that
that
for
good?
me. Since
Next, I need to try Marmite. Yeah, we had.
No,
Do we-
don't try Marmite.
Do we still have Marmite in there?
No, we
What's
do not
Marmite?
have Marmite.
Yes, we do, don't we?
No, we don't.
Do we-
threw out
What's the
the
difference
Marmite
between
because
Vegemite and
nobody
Marmite?
eats the Marmite.
I'll eat the Marmite.
No, you won't. You tried the Marmite.
I will. Move that away from the light bulb. There you go.
Do a shout out to Frank Hart's kids.
Frank Hart's kids.
Yes, Maddie is watching intently.
Maddie, it's a school night. Go to sleep.
Can she see?
I know it's not. Becky, try it. You'll like it. Do it. Do it for.
No.
Come
Don't
on.
even throw the children in.
Do it for Queen and Country. Are you saying? Wait a minute. Are you saying you don't like the British either?
Wow.
Children or the British is what you're
Who's
saying.
Who has actually been to London?
I've been to London.
Really?
Yep.
When?
Flew right over it.
Flew right over it.
Right over it.
Hey,
I've been to London.
Hey, speaking of the children, do you remember how much money it took for you to jump in the pool with all your clothes on?
Yes.
Really?
So we talked about this before you got here.
That was at Mustang Alley.
Yep. Not Mustang Alley, Mustang Island Circle. There was a panther in the bushes. No, like no joke. There was a panther. So you matched what?
I matched what everybody else did.
And it was total like $1,500 or something that was donated that night to get me in the pool.
You went to that house? You've been to that
No,
house?
no, no. She was
was in
watching
the-
live.
Your father jumped in the pool.
I jumped in the pool with all my clothes on because that, for some reason, Scott
For the
found
children.
entertaining.
Yeah,
It was fun.
why did you find that so entertaining?
Was-
It's like a bathing suit.
We were
except
watching a
for-
guy in his basement, or his patio, talking, for
And why were you
hours.
doing it in the patio?
Because I was outside by the pool. It was forever ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was
That was like
10 years ago.
No,
They were so
Mustang Alley Circle was 10 years ago. That means I was 2 when we left New Jersey.
Marion, it was 2008 when we were there.
That's
That's almost
Jill,
10 years
you're not
ago.
helping me there.
That's like 8. Well, that means that I would be 15.
If Prince William asked me,
I'm turning 14 in a week, so
Marmite on seeded bread, toast, topped with avocado. Do we have any Marmite in there?
what's Marmite? I know what Vegemite is, but
See if you can find it.
substance ever to walk the earth.
what is it?
It's like
a spread
grinded
from
up horribleness.
So it's like Vegemite.
What, toast on
Yes,
cheese?
it's exactly the same as Vegemite.
Marmite is our friend, says Martin. Look, Martin, any friend of yours is a friend of mine.
Apparently,
So,
people
Martin,
put Marmite
Prince
on
Charles.
white bread with like
A little
the
old.
fairy sprinkles. Those little
fairy
what are they?
sprinkles?
Nonpareils. Those little tiny
Yeah?
circular. Yeah. Apparently, it's called fairy bread. That's online.
Seeded bread, toast, topped with avocado. Okay.
I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Would you and Lou ever entertain a non-Disney trip?
I certainly will.
Oh, boy. How much did she pay you to say that? I've been big.
Ireland would be a wonderful.
Becky wanted us to do, like just going to someplace else.
I wanted to do like a all-inclusive resort somewhere, like in Mexico or.
Emma gave me a jar of Emma, we're looking for the Marmite. I'll try it for
We
you.
have all-inclusive resorts in London, but London.
We don't have it.
Yep.
No?
The Adventures by Disney was the thing that we're considering for those. The London Paris, however, we've been talking about that, on how that could be done. What?
I didn't say anything. Move those giant hobbit feet out of the way. Come on, man, you're fouling my bag.
Yes.
And by
But there are
talking
other,
Please say g'day, mate.
there are other great trips
G'day, mate.
that are out there. There's getting everybody together at an all-inclusive resort in the Caribbean or something would be really fun.
She wanted to do this show tonight.
What's left of the Caribbean?
Where'd you want to do the show
It's
from
coming
tonight?
back. Everything's back. There's only one island. What?
Where did you want to do the show from tonight?
The place. Do you really want me to say it?
The place that has no name?
The place.
dark
no,
side?
I did not say that.
Yes, you did. I could get
All
us
right.
a
Oh,
sweet
you
so
want-
big at Universal Studios.
Do you want me now to tell the story about how we got to this the place?
They know how.
You want to throw me under the bus?
No, they know how.
Ow,
It's all
the
my
bus
fault.
just ran over me
No,
3 times.
no, we already talked. It's my fault. No, I admit it's my fault. I waited 500 episodes to, like, the day before 500 episodes to figure out what we were doing for show 500. That's fine.
See, but
That's fine.
That's not like you though, because you plan ahead.
I know, but it just sort of came up, and that's right.
I only live with them.
Yeah, you don't. You don't.
Aren't you
know.
having fun right now?
I was just watching.
Go get a job, kid.
It was only.
Go get a job, kid.
All right, and the reason was because there was nothing available on
Right.
property because we have Veterans Day, we had the Run, and we have Jersey Week, so there was nothing available here, and so we were scouting places we could have the most people, right?
Right.
Why are you smiling like that? Like you're going.
Well, you
to
didn't like
tell
the one.
everyone-
You didn't like the one place that I had reserved.
Well,
Please, I will not be seen in the lobby there.
No, it would have been the exact same size as the place that we ended up actually getting.
It all worked out well. Isn't this better?
Yes. I told you it's fine.
We've got Branston Pickle here.
I told you it's fine. It worked out
It
great.
all worked out well.
Yes.
Colleen says,
so
I
where
wish...
else would you go? You already said that every...
So we're going to London. We're going to London, Paris.
When?
I'll reveal that as soon as you leave. We're going to Italy.
So helpful.
We're going to Italy.
And I know how we're doing that, and I know when that's going to happen.
And we're going to
I've
Shanghai
already
and
signed a
Tokyo.
contract. I haven't told you that.
We're going to Shanghai and Tokyo.
And I know when that's going to happen now, too, because I've already seen the stuff. He doesn't know.
Oh, my God. Think about how good the food's going to be there.
Would you not want to do
Your
that?
list?
Extended British Isles. British Isles coupled with an ABD.
So what, like extended British Isles or what?
So I want to do the British Isles Disney cruise with an ABD coupled to spend more time in Edinburgh and Ireland and
So you want to be gone for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks with Becky? I've lived it. I've lived that experience. You sure you want to do that? She's still sitting here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Sorry.
Was it really that bad? Let's talk about that for a second. Was it really that bad? How were
It was
those
nuts.
flights? How were those flights for 15 hours?
Father Christopher wants to do Italy, and that I want to go to Italy with Father Christopher.
I want to go to Italy again.
I would choose Italy over China any day.
Not China, but how about London, Paris, or Ireland, or Scotland,
Or Tokyo.
Anywhere in Europe. I'll do anywhere in Europe.
Italy's definitely going to happen. Like,
I have a feeling that's going to sell out fast when we go.
to leave you home, just so you know.
What?
At least
Huh?
Nick wants to, I'll stay home for Japan. He can go to Japan and I'll stay home for Japan. I just want to go to Italy.
Becky said, "Go ahead, take all my money now. Can I just sign my paychecks over to you?"
Indeed.
When is London, Paris happening? Not that I can afford it. In a couple years, not next year.
I don't think that's going to be an ABD though. I think
It's going to be we're going to do our own sort of WDW Radio tour.
You have no idea, and I've got it all planned out.
No, we'll see. We'll see. I have say. Father Christopher may be able to get us into the Vatican.
Yes.
That one we will have, and a tour when it's closed, and private time for 30 of us.
With kids.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what'd you say? I'm sorry, what'd you say?
You might have to take some time off of school.
I mean, I'm always a kid.
You might have to take some time off school, but yes.
Brett Bowen says, "Where's this show coming from?" This is.
I know. I did that just for you because I like you. And we
This
have
is my
plans.
house.
And
This is my
4
backyard.
years. We got plans.
Are you still eating that Branston pickle? You can hook me up with one of those.
Thank you, Sam.
Little Branston.
I
what-
appreciate that.
Is it
He
Bran?
never tells me that.
Cheese.
So
No,
I have to
you know
rely
what?
on you.
Ham, just to mix things up a little bit.
Asia will be coming. We're working on Asia. We're working on a different one. We're gonna do it custom.
Thank you.
Really?
We're gonna do Shanghai
Uh-huh.
and Tokyo.
But it can be an add-on for Shanghai.
Right.
And Tokyo could be an add-on.
That's so good.
Good. I'm glad you like it.
Just try it.
I don't want to try it right now.
Do it for the.
No, because I don't want to
No.
try it right now. Do it.
Thank you.
I am. I'm gonna cough on you on 3 seconds. It's for the fun of it. I love you, B.
So wait, so nobody ever answered. Oh, so we know where we want to go. Anything that I haven't done on the show, haven't talked about, or somebody you want to hear from?
This probably be easy. You know Alex Mayer?
Yeah.
He's an artist at Disney, and that would be interesting enough. But his hobby is Walt Disney, and he teaches a class at Disney about Walt
Yeah.
Disney. That might be a very interesting.
So he's one of the first people. What are you hitting me for? He's one of the first people I ever interviewed, but it was on Mouse Tunes.
I have an idea.
Him, Brian went to the Barnes and Noble on Sand Lake Road and did an interview there. But I don't think he's ever actually been on WDW Radio. So you're right. I will. I'll do it, Alex.
Let's take him to Alaska.
He's the nicest guy, and he's the nicest guy.
I'm
in the
totally
world.
going to text him right now and see if he'll go to Alaska.
while he's talking, he draws.
Yeah.
And then at the end,
He's super talented. Yeah, I mean he's no Brian Blackmore, but he's pretty talented. He's no Ron, certainly no Ron Cohey.
Could you get last?
Lou, when you did the interview with
Awesome.
Ryan, and he brought Kermit.
That's when we were at Downtown Disney.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a good interview. See, I remember some of them.
Who just Dining Review, Victoria and Albert's Chef's Table. I'm in for that one.
You owe me so many different dining reviews and lounge reviews. You've been promising me lounge reviews for 6 years.
No, listen.
What?
I will give you top 10 lounges in Walt Disney World.
You've been saying that for 4 years.
Maybe we should do it, and then we'll somehow pick a nation member to join in.
Oh, that'd be fun.
There's one that's my favorite. I know my favorite.
What's your favorite?
The Geyser Point.
Geyser Point.
Good choice,
And
That was
thank you,
nice.
Christopher.
Territory Lounge is good too. Do they still have the pretzels with the cheese?
He would never do it.
They still have the fondue there?
I think so.
Maybe we should go check it out. Good night, everybody.
It scares him.
So Emma McLaughlin, I interviewed. You missed this before. I interviewed Alan Menken back on show 196.
This is awesome to see how you find that information so quickly.
Yeah, so
now,
there's
now we know the secrets.
Yeah, somebody actually made that up for me. So I had another question. I can't remember what it was. Let's see. Let me see if I can do this. What do you say? We have a couple of minutes left since we started late. I don't think there's any way for you guys to hear it.
Speaker?
This is not a speaker. This is a
I
microphone.
know that part, but
You saw it. You saw her do that. You went, can't you put it?
No, doesn't that Apple device have a speaker on it?
Yeah, but it needs to go into here so it can go into
Isn't
here.
there a cord that goes from there to there?
Let me see. Yeah, but I'm recording it. I have to record it.
So we never asked you what.
Yeah.
Tell us what WDW Radio does for you.
Nothing really comes to mind. My life is all pretty much exactly the same as it was 12 years ago.
Really? Good to know.
Sit down, Mom.
You're just trying to get me to cry, and I'll.
You're gonna have to, when you wrap it up, you're gonna have to say it anyway. So, do you want to say it now and cry, or at the end and cry?
Let's take a couple of phone. Let's take a couple of phone calls really
Oh, that's a
quickly.
good idea.
Yeah, Marion just wants to hear me get all sobby.
No, I don't.
Hey, it's Lou. I think you're on the air. Oh no, maybe. Wait, hold on. Maybe you're not. Are you? Hello. There you go. Wait a second. Hello.
It's Disney on me. It's Andrew.
Andrew Prince, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Oh, listen, your fan club is here. The crowd is going wild, Andrew Prince. How you doing, brother?
Good.
I can't. I'll just
Enjoying the
repeat.
show. Deanna made me cry. Deanna made me cry when you asked
We're all just waiting. Wait, can they hear?
They can hear, but he just cut out.
Hey, I'm back. I think.
Hello?
Hello.
No. I'll give you the all I heard was because of the show, Deanna made me cry. So, nice. I hope you're happy. John says, I want to let you know that I'm very happy that Nation memberships go to Make-A-Wish. When I was in recovery after surgery, I went to the Children's Hospital. So awkward. I hate this new version. Hello?
Deanna made me cry. That's all you heard.
No. Let's try that again. And I'll put the phone number up for those of you who want to call in. We'll take a couple.
Cool. It just pops right up.
I know. See, look.
Technology.
Your dad kind of knows what he's doing.
I have
Friday organization. You think it is the dopey dudes?
food eating to do.
Hey, it's Lou, and I think you're on the air.
Hello, it's Vanessa. How are you?
Hey, Vanessa, how are you? It's Andrew's
Oh,
mom.
good. Sorry, we lost Andrew.
Oh, your fan club is here. Oh, my gosh, they love you, too.
Hey, everybody. We've enjoyed watching it today, so it's and,
I can hear you. Go ahead.
and we wanted to thank you for everything you've done for us too, with our family and traveling, and just think we were in Puerto Rico a year ago, so that was really fun.
I
We've enjoyed
I
all
can't
that.
believe Puerto Rico was an entire year ago.
Yeah.
Right? Like last week.
Yeah.
Right? Wasn't it like last week we were in Puerto Rico? Oh, remember the
No, we've
mofongo?
been right now. Yeah.
Oh. How much fun did me, you, and Andrew have? Oh, I lost him. How much
Oh,
fun did
no,
we
I'm
have
still here. I'm still here.
in the water that day in Puerto Rico?
Oh my gosh, that was fun.
That was nice. That was nice.
Yeah.
Listen, because of WDW Radio, I met the two. You're gonna make me cry. I met the two of you, and you guys have contributed not just to the WDW Radio blog, but you've contributed to my life, and I am better for knowing you guys.
Oh, thank you. And I love your family too, and all the running people out there. I've met so many people from around the world that it's amazing. You know,
You love the
can
running
always find
people
somebody.
too.
Yes.
You like them too. Aye.
Yeah.
Well, we all love you too, and everybody in the back is echoing that sentiment.
Oh, thank you. Do you want to try Andrew again real quick?
Sure.
See if he doesn't kind of, okay. Just real quick. Don't talk.
Hey, Lou.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Good.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for tuning in and for contributing, and we need to go on a cruise again soon.
Can't wait for Alaska.
I can as well. I cannot wait as well. I'm looking forward to Alaska. Who's going to Alaska? Whoa. Wow. You're not coming? You're not raising your hand? You're not...
I've been debating if we should go at all, you know.
Alaska's going to be amazing. I can't wait. Can you believe that's like 6 months away? 7 months away.
We have planning to do.
We
have
have
planning.
Let me.
I've been asking you. We have
Listen,
excursions,
I
we
have one
stuff
thing to tell you. I have one thing to tell you.
If you say that little sentence, I'm going to hit you so hard, your eyeballs will fall.
We should probably get on that quick. We should probably get on Alaska quickly.
Probably a good idea.
All right, brother. It was good talking to you, buddy.
Good talking to you.
All right, man. Take care.
See you in
What are
January.
you gonna say?
Thank you.
We have plenty of time.
I wasn't. I would never ever say that.
Never,
Because we do not have plenty of time. Oh, see, Jimmy said we have plenty of time, so we're good. Hey, it's Lou. You're on the air.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
I'm gonna guess that you know who this is.
Of course I know who this is. It's Terry Stinson Doherty.
Yay! It's because of my northern accent, right?
It is. It's you have no accent whatsoever.
I did. That is so true. I have no accent. Okay, so let me answer all those questions that you haven't seen. Let's see, the top 10 smells.
Top 10 smells?
Yeah, it probably was Richard Sherman. And Tim Foster is my. Becky Menken is my favorite.
She
top
said
10,
Tim Foster. Becky Menken. I think that's out of fear. I think people just said that out of fear.
No, because she knows something that you don't know, and that was a hint to me about something. So move on.
Yeah, I did. Okay.
Terry, look at
and
me. Terry Stinson Dar, look at me in the eyes. Remember.
Look.
I know.
What do I need to remember?
Just remember whose side you're on.
Remember that okay, I will remember. I will remember whose cult I'm in. What? I'm sorry. Did I say that? Anyway, and the top 10 shows that you should do, I still say music for all 4 parts. Music.
I'm coming back to that. I promise you I'm coming back to that. I'm going to come back and do. I've never repeated an episode. I've never repeated a show topic since from Mouse Tune days to now, although I will tell you, I am going to redo music in the parks, and I'm also going to redo the 7 Wonders of Walt Disney World.
Oh, good.
There we go. All right.
So what were the 7 Wonders of Walt Disney World?
Am I being quizzed on this?
You can join in.
The cast members was cast members. Wait, what did they say? I didn't even hear
He
it.
said,
the
so
new
it's
list.
Spaceship Earth, Audio Animatronics, Monorail, Not the Boathouse, Cinderella
said-
Castle.
I said cast members members right
cast
here.
members, yep.
Yes, that was my one
The constru- are
contribution
you
there.
kidding?
I don't want to,
Wow.
hog the stage.
Scott Otis, look at you. So I will revisit those two topics. I'll definitely revisit those.
Well, that will be absolutely wonderful. And I'm supposed to finish the sentence, which I did, but radio, what I would do different. Oh, blah! If I hadn't found WDW Radio, I would not have the amazing people, which include at least 4 people that you have sitting behind you, including Lisa and both Nikki's and Beatrice Feeney. So, yeah.
So she said if it wasn't for WDW Radio, she wouldn't have the amazing friendships that she has with so many people, including some of the people that are sitting here, like Lisa and Nikki's, Beatrice Feeney, not Becky, but most of
no.
everybody else. Then
Don't do that. You're so awful.
and that's why I'm repeating for you.
Yeah.
So, Terry.
By the way, I
Sincendardi-
just have one.
Yes, ma'am. Go
One
ahead.
funny comment for you. No, it was that my husband came into the room and he was like, "Wait, that's Becky. I thought she had blonde hair." I said, "You're confusing her with Lou's puppet."
He said her husband came into the room and said, "That's Becky. I thought she had blonde hair," confusing you from.
From what? Oh yeah, the stupid puppet. Who sent you the stupid puppet? Who sent you the puppet?
Who sent me the puppet?
Who sent you the puppet?
Who sent me the puppet?
Yeah, this is like the 500th episode. You might as well start from scratch.
Who sent me the puppet?
Yes.
Who sent me the puppet?
That's what I meant.
Who did send you the puppet?
I don't know. I mean, I know, but I don't know. I know, but I
Then
don't
tell
know.
me who it was.
There was no. Did you try?
There was no return
Did you try
address.
the Branson pickle?
No return address. I'm trying to help you here.
I know. There was no. There was no return address. There was no gift card. There was no. I have suspicions.
Okay, are they going to Alaska?
Well, Terry Sincendardi, because of you. Listen, thank you so much. I am so grateful to you and the friendship that we have cultivated and grown over the last few years.
I am grateful to you very much as well. And I will eventually move down there. We know it's going to happen, right?
And I will continue to endeavor to convince your hubby to move down here. All the cool kids are doing it. Look.
That's right. Yay!
All the cool kids.
Okay.
Florida cult.
You just they're sitting right
Yes.
here. They can hear what you're saying.
Yes, I realize that.
I embrace it. I embrace it fully.
She embraces it fully.
All
Listen,
right.
there's worse cults to be in. Do you guys want some Kool-Aid?
Oh.
What? Too soon?
It's the best Kool-Aid. It's so good.
You admit it.
Just inject it. Inject the Kool-Aid. It's so good.
Awesome. Well, I hope to
Anyway,
see you again
yes,
soon.
you guys have a wonderful night, and I will talk to you again later. And
Talk to you soon.
take care, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
She's so sweet.
So is Melanie Jones.
Why would you? I
Because I
didn't.
just saw her name up there.
Oh,
and I
we
didn't
love
say hi to
Marilyn.
her.
Lori Oliveri is there.
Hello, Lori.
Say what?
We missed Angelo this past weekend at Wine and Dine.
Oh. All right, let's take one more call. Why don't you do this? Why don't you turn on the show and listen to it back there? Hey, this is Lou. Welcome to the last episode of WDW Radio.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, Lou. Hi, everybody.
Hi, who's this?
This is Christine Morris in Flowertown, PA.
Christine from Flowertown, PA. It is what? First of all, what's the temperature up there?
Oh, it's cold. We actually have a fire going on outside doing some s'mores, but it's about, I don't know, low 30s, high 20s.
It's the high 20s.
Yeah.
It's
I know.
It's the same here. Don't worry about it. It's the same here.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. I'm not ready for it.
I'm sure. So go ahead. So
You
finish
got-
the sentence. Because of WDW Radio,
Okay, so because of WD Radio, there's so many things, but I have changed my outlook every day to be more positive. Okay, first of all. And I'm the one who wrote, I'm taking a leap of faith. I'll let you know if it works out.
Okay. So she's changed her
So we'll
outlook to
see.
a much more positive one, and she's taking a leap of faith.
Yes. So we'll see. I'm thinking about changing my career. So I'll let you know if it works out. So we'll see.
What?
But it's all
what
because of you guys.
It's all because. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of pressure. What career are you currently in?
Okay, so right now I am a veterinary technician.
Okay.
For the past 22 years. But it's a very physical job, and I'm starting to see myself having trouble with the physical part, and so now I'm rethinking what am I going to do with the rest of my life.
Well, the best thing I can tell you is think about something that you would get excited to get up and do. If money was no object, something that you can get up and do every single day and be upset to go to sleep at night because you just want to continue working on it. And that's the thing that you should go and do.
I have to tell you, I mean, I think I know what that is, but I'm not going to tell you guys yet because I don't want to jinx it. But it's something that I'm very, very passionate about. It has to do with Disney, and I have so many people coming to me all the time to ask me advice about their trips and so on and so forth. And I get so excited about it that I feel like that's the direction that I need to go.
Well, good. And if there's ever anything I can do to help you out, just please let me know.
Thank you. You guys are having such a great time. And let me tell you, it's so nice to put a face with the voices that I listen to every week. So it's awesome. I'm so glad I found you guys. My sister told me about you guys, and it's been such a joy.
Well, good. Well, thank you so much. And tell your sister I said thank you, too.
I will. Enjoy the rest of your night. I hope you guys are warm down there. I'll be thinking about you.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
David, it would be even better if it wasn't just the production, if it was on a VHS tape and we could pop it in and see it.
What if I just did a live performance of my Rolling Grease right now?
Go for it.
Don't you dare say do it for the children back there, Otis, because I'm not doing it.
Do it.
No. There ain't no...
Oh, no.
Stop it.
Yes.
No.
Leave the room or the area,
No. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see any part of it.
Why did you bring it out and put it right there?
Because I want you to show you that it exists. And because now that you've seen it, like you want it so much more,
Yes.
it's going back into the vault.
Yes, I do.
It's going back into the vault. You know what I should just do? I should just burn it right here.
Don't you dare. No. I will tear that out of your hands so fast you will lose a finger.
Right? Should we start a fire and burn the grease tape? Where are you going, woman?
All right, let me point out something here. See
Look,
the
it's like-
color? See the color, the difference? Really,
I've seen pictures of you as a blonde, and I still have pictures.
oh, no. 18th birthday, hello. That's magical. That's truly magical.
Actually, why don't you... Here, I'll just do this. There you go. That's even better.
Lower your hands.
Oh, see? Get your hobbit feet away from me.
You seem to have a hand occupied. Jimmy.
Can you hold this for a second? Stop it. It's not going to end well for anybody.
Why do you do that? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? There's so many people in the box right now that want. Oh, don't you dare think I won't go for that. Stop it, you freak. Where you have put my phone, I have no problem.
Stop it.
I have Deanna.
Listen, I think this is a as good a time as any.
18th birthday.
I'm helping you.
That's not helping. Michael, we have a tape. It's right here. It's right here.
That's why he has a VCR.
For the people who are here that are supporting you, I think you need to, for the 500 shows.
What I think we should do, what I think we need to do,
Let's put that away.
is start to
burn
wrap.
this. I think we should burn that. Do not put that.
Burn yourself?
Really?
I just turned it down. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry about the Skype ringing. I see we're a little bit behind.
A little?
I had the volume up and Skype was still ringing. All right.
Yep.
I was gonna say before things got out of hand, but I think it's too late for that.
Yep.
Clearly, I think we will start to wrap things up very quickly. So good night, everybody.
So you're going to tell everybody about what's been important to you over the last 500 episodes and what this has all meant to you.
You're such a jerk.
I know.
You just want to hear me.
No, I think it's important for you to look back over the last 500 episodes of what you've accomplished over the time and tell us what you think is more important. Or most important from.
I think it's what we have accomplished. I feel that I am just a facilitator, as opposed to. So when people talk about it's what I have done, I think it's what we have done. Like this happens not because of me, but it's a collective. It's us. I said from the very beginning when I started my discussion forums back in January of 2004, because I didn't like what I saw elsewhere online in terms of people being mean and flaming each other. I wanted a place that Array could come to. I said, I just built the clubhouse. Like, you guys are the ones that populated. You guys form the community. I just sort of make sure that, the lights stay on.
You were the enabler. No, you came up with great concepts. You guys, you all work together to.
Enabler sounds almost like it's a negative thing.
No,
A facilitator.
A facilitator.
Okay,
I'll buy that. Because of WDW Radio.
My physique has changed immeasurably.
That's kind of square right now too.
I have. Listen, it's easy to say because of W Radio, I left my career. I am doing something that I love every day. I have, my life has changed. But to say that my life has changed in profound ways is an understatement. There could be easily a top 10 ways that it has changed for me personally. I say it all the time, and I have no problem admitting it. Like, I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. And by growing up, I meant grammar school and high school and college and law school and everything else. Right. But now I feel as I have I don't just have friends, I have a family. I hate you, Becky.
I know. I hate you more.
I do. I have a family that is beyond the people who are just in this room here or in this box here. People that I have not met before, people around the world, and it's incredibly humbling to me to know that collectively we reach and hopefully positively. Somebody said about the positive impact. Like, that's all I want to do. I realized as I sort of look back, I wanted to be a lawyer because I wanted to help people. Like, I did plaintiff's work because I wanted to, and then I was doing IT stuff because I wanted to help people, connect. And I started the Disney stuff because I wanted to help people have a better Disney vacation. But I think it's more than that. And I think what I've gotten is the help that you guys have given me, not just in being able to pick up my family and move to Florida, where we can sit outside in the middle of November, but to do something that I never could have imagined 10 years ago when I wrote my first book. I never would have imagined that it came to this. And of all the things that I've done, of all the things I've seen, of all the the people that I've gotten a chance to interview, of all the amazing meals that I met, this and WDW Radio and everything else has impacted me because of you. It's because of the people. And the biggest reward, the best takeaway is not necessarily knowing that, I've helped people, but the friendships that I've made and the relationships that I've made. And it means more to me than I'm clearly having a tough time articulating. But so that's why I said this was a celebration of you, and you individually and you, the community, because I appreciate every single one of you. I understand and appreciate how important your time is, and the fact that you share it with me means it means a lot. And together we have done 500-ish shows. Despite rumors to the contrary, this is not my swan song. This is not the goodbye. As long as one person keeps listening, I will keep doing this. So I did this tonight because I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for the gift and the gifts that you continue to give me each and every week. Whether it's a sweaty hug, whether it's your presence, whether it's an email, those gifts mean an incredible amount to me. And for that, I am eternally grateful. You have positively impacted my life in incredibly profound ways. I always say that sometimes we don't know how the things that we do might impact people and the ripple effect. I don't think you guys know the impact that you have had on me. And I did it without crying. So thank you.
What was your favorite memory? What was
Non-sweaty group hugs are fine.
What was your favorite memory or favorite event, or the thing that's, if there was one thing you could redo and do over again, what would it be?
That I could redo?
Mm-hmm. You could relive.
Not like do it over again, like just have that same experience again?
Yeah. If you could go back in time and go back to any interview or any event or anything that you've done in the WDW radio community, what would that be? Polka. That was before the WDW radio community?
I think it's more sad that my mom's laughing.
Something I could do over. All right, go ahead.
No, you got
I can give you three?
Yeah.
Okay. So the very first meet of the month I ever did in January of 2008, when I was afraid that nobody was going to show up.
Where was it?
At the Tomorrowland Terrace, during Marathon Weekend. And I don't just love it because Tony Caggiano was hiding off in the background behind a pole, too scared to come up and walk up, which is awesome in and of itself. But that was sort of the first time that I saw in front of me, a community come together. And I realized that you guys were building something special. I loved all the cruises, but there was something special about the Richard Sherman cruise. And I think, this is where I'm definitely going to try not to cry. I think the first time that we met the Make-A-Wish family, you cannot understand the importance and the impact of seeing in front of you the tangible result of what you do, whether it was fundraising, running, auctions, whatever. When you see that kid and his or her family and the looks on their faces, and now we get to see it every January, but that first time with that first kid, knowing that you're the reason why they're there, there was no single sort of moment that I remember more than that.
Okay. So in the next 500, I know,
gosh.
I remember this is going to 2032, I think is where our contract goes that long. Right?
No,
Really?
we're going month to month at this point.
Oh,
It's
really? Good to know for Tokyo and Italy and all of that wonderful stuff. What are you looking forward to most in the next 500 episodes?
I'm looking forward. The unexpected for me is the biggest, most exciting part, because everybody's like, "What are you gonna like?" I don't know what's coming next. I don't know where the technology is going to go. I don't know where the community is going to go. I don't know where, what I do is going to change. And that's exciting to me because I'm always looking to innovate. I'm always looking to figure out what's next. And that's the thing that helps get me out of bed in the morning is that excitement of what is going to be around that next turn, what that new thing is going to be.
Okay. So in the things that are coming.
Is this 20 questions with Lou Monjo?
I'm having fun with this.
Oh, my gosh.
Because I hardly ever get to do this. It's kind of fun. So everything that's coming, we know about some exciting stuff that's coming to Walt Disney World and to the Disney fan community and for attractions and so forth in the theme parks. What is a thing besides Tron that you're excited about?
The thing that I'm most excited about is something that I can't tell you about.
And I was hoping that I could get you to say something more.
I have 2 words for you.
Mm-hmm.
3 words for you. Epcot Center. You don't know? You want me to tell you? No. I didn't tell Nick that.
Lots of things are coming from Epcot Center.
Yeah.
Put a lot of money in there.
Epcot's going to be a very different park 7 years from now. Yeah.
Yep. So out of everything is coming, that's the one that you're most excited about then. Okay.
No, I mean, there's something else, but I can't say it in front of you.
I can leave for 2 seconds. I'm gone. Say it. I'm coming back. Okay.
Is that it? Is the interview over?
No, I'm having a lot of fun here.
If I gave you all one sort of ask me almost anything question, what would it be?
Wait, individually or?
Individually. No, individually.
As a group, and then one question. So anything you wish you'd done that you didn't do, or would do differently?
Interview with Earl Ravenscroft like the day after I got in touch with him instead of trying to wait 2 weeks. I don't think I would do anything differently because I think the choices that I make have led me here. So I would never sort of look back because once you sort of, kill the butterfly, who knows what direction things would happen.
Anybody?
That's it?
Oh, by the way, I do need to acknowledge that
Oh, no.
Scott actually knew when you had your first meet and you didn't. It wasn't 2008, it was 2009. He corrected
Was 2000?
you.
Same thing. 8, 9, it's all the same.
I think he's more of a Lou Mongello fan than you are.
There might be something.
Probably.
Might be something said for that. Okay.
I was just quickly looking at
That's 2.
questions in the box. All right, any sort of last questions from the box? Anything? Going once?
Yeah.
Going twice?
If you had your choice between London, Paris.
What? I'm telling you. Oh my God, you are my new favorite person in the planet. Go creep around my bathroom.
Oh, no.
I'm telling you.
I know it. I know it. But he tells me, oh, you don't need any products. Just wash your face with ice cold
It's
water.
cold water and no soap on your face.
It doesn't work.
Look at this. Look at this. Porcelain skin.
Is different. Everyone's skin is different.
That's it. Cold soap, no water.
No, that's actually
Cold soap, no
says.
water. I mean,
Cold soap, no water.
cold soap.
Nice.
Cold soap, no water.
Where can you find my DJ book? I saw one on Amazon.
Do we have one?
I have a few. Huh? I have a couple upstairs too.
Auction it off. I bet you could get a lot of money for
My
that.
DJ handbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the grease tape is down his pants. If anybody wants to know about that.
Wait, you have it?
It's down
Grease
his
tape?
pants right now.
No, he actually put it back.
Did he?
Saw him, yeah.
Hey, Tara.
Whoa! Hey,
I didn't know what
come on, man. Ricky, I do owe you a copy of the DJ handbook. When I find an extra one upstairs, I will give it to you. Ricky is a good guy, so.
Yeah, but I bet he could learn some tricks from you.
I don't miss those days at all. I don't miss it. Do you miss the practice at all? I don't know that anybody leaves it and misses it, and I certainly don't.
I have a question, Lou. When you started this because you love Disney and you wanted to help other people, get to Disney and love Disney. But you say a lot of times, and it kind of hurts my little Disney heart, because you say I don't get to the parks as often as I used to. And is there a part of you that misses?
No, because it's not. When I say that I don't go to the parks as often as I used to, it's not because something else is taking up my time and I'm like, man, I wish I can get to the parks today. This is where most of what I do takes place. I go when I need to research something, when I have to go eat something, when I need to go eat something. But especially now, like with some of the other stuff that I'm doing on the entrepreneurial side of things, it just, plus the parks are so far away. Like, oh my God.
Okay, I gotta admit though,
There are people in like Canada and China that are crying because you just said that.
being able to go and visit Hong Kong and Shanghai and Tokyo Disney Sea was a return back though to that wonderment, because we didn't.
Tony Caggiano, I'm doing a show here. I can't. I don't have time to talk to you. Don't you pay attention?
How did you know that was him?
Because Apple products have things called caller ID. You freak.
No, what did you were like pulling? You answered it before you even looked at it.
No, I didn't.
Really?
I saw it. What was your question?
Going to Hong Kong and Shanghai and Tokyo, right? Gave you that
I'll call you back.
Gave you that wonderment. Again, you got to experience Disney for the first time again.
Right.
And that's a feeling I know I missed. And being able to experience that again for the first time, going on attractions that we'd never seen or experienced before. Did you have that same feeling? Or do you miss that?
No, because I don't go so often. I went to what park was I in the other day? I went to Hollywood Studios, and I was like, God, I haven't been here in a long time. And there was something like new and fresh about it, and I'm like, that's good, because if I went there every week, it would be so sort of pedestrian to me that it wouldn't have that same feeling. So I still smile when I walk into Magic Kingdom, and I still get excited at Food and Wine Festival. I mean, not.
Yes.
I mean, the fact that it's right. I mean,
shocker.
So.
But you do go to the boathouse like every week, and it still has that.
I am going.
Oh my!
You hear the angels sing, don't you?
You really do.
God, we should go there tonight.
Let's go.
We need a table for like 30, please. Ricky DJ Techno says, I'm not crying, you're crying. I didn't cry. I got this without crying. All right, last questions. Anything? Going once? Going twice?
When are we going to see the grease tape?
Soon. Okay.
Soon.
Soon.
Excellent. Good to know.
I didn't get a chance to take as many calls as I was like, God, there's no way I can do this for 3 hours. And then I remembered Lou Mangello. And time went way faster than I thought it would. Even though you're not here with us, you are here with us in spirit, and I appreciate. Well, they're not here physically. They're listen, kid. I'm so happy that you're 13. You have no idea because it's a magical.
How did that feel?
1 week, 7 days.
14 is.
There you go. You said it.
Make sure to send all your presents to the PO box. I'll be taking anything.
Beat it, kid.
7 days.
Have some Branson pickle.
If you sent it out today, it would come.
We're having a nice night. Don't talk about your age or driving or anything else like that.
2 years from driving.
Okay, now they're going to make me cry. Don't pay attention to them. Guys, thank you. I know we're sort of making light of it, but I cannot thank you guys enough. This is why I do the show alone. Now you understand.
I'm the person you're talking to off the side. Go ahead.
No, I'm not.
Yell at me all you want.
I don't want to yell at you. I want to say thank you to you guys. Father Christopher, I was hoping to get an auction done at the end of this year, but we're going to do one in the spring. We're going to do another a Dream Team auction in the spring. Shush. But thanks to all of you guys. Thanks to all of you guys for being here tonight, last week, from whether you started listening at Show 1, Mouse Tunes, or just last week. I'm truly, truly grateful to and for you. Don't ask Mary what she wants for her birthday. That is not important. Okay, stop it.
Love sloths, Stranger Things, and Friends.
Animals.
Yeah,
Yes.
go figure.
I love sloth.
Anyway, it's everybody must be hungry.
Cool.
Congratulations to you guys on 500 shows and for all the joy that you have brought together as a community for what you have done for me. You keep listening. I will keep going as long as you want. And if there's ever anything I can do to show my appreciation to you and for you, please let me know. I don't throw this word around a lot, but I mean it sincerely when I say whether I've met you or not, I love you and I appreciate you. And thank you for the gifts that you continue to give me each and every week. I hope that the show brings you a little bit of happiness, however and wherever you may be. So thanks to all of you guys. I appreciate it. Thanks, as always, to Becky Mankin from MEI and Mouse Fan Travel for all your vacation planning needs. Whether you're going to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Adventures by Disney.
Can you get any more enthusiastic about this? Because I don't know, we got
commercial show voice.
We got England, we got Paris, we got Ireland now.
Listen.
We got Italy, we've got Japan.
Listen,
we've got
I'm going to say
Shanghai.
something nice. Shut up, I'm going to say something nice. Shush.
Everybody can only see your hand.
Listen.
Move it. Yeah, move the camera over.
Oh, Marion, shush. Why don't you go do some homework?
It's Saturday.
I wanted to say thank you for not only helping to keep the lights on, but thank you for the friendship that you have extended me for more than a decade as well.
That's very nice.
I'm not going to screw it up. I'm not. I'm afraid if I say anything else, I'm going to start to screw it up. So there's no punchline. There's no punchline. We could not do this. We could not do this without you. You are as much part of this community. You're as much part of my family as you are this community. And you two have helped so many people in a lot of different ways. And for that, I am grateful. That is why I trust you. It's why I recommend you. And that's why I'm proud to call you my friend.
Aw, thank you.
Wow.
I know. I even felt weird. I felt weird saying it.
Wow. There's so many years.
What? Nikki's got the cue card. I'm just reading right off it.
So many years, so many great plans, so many great things for the community ahead of us.
And so many things you don't know about.
So many things you don't know
I
about, which is
literally
even
took
better.
I took the board down tonight just in case she snuck upstairs.
The what?
I can
The
find
board.
the board.
The board that I have, my dry erase board.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I live
I have money. And you have a camera. So, well, thank you. And we couldn't do what we do without you and the community and you guys supporting us. So thank you for your support too. Because the more you book with us, the more things we can do, the more things we can do to support the community and, of course, the Dream Team, which is very near and dear to my heart as well. I will never forget that first time we met that one family and we had lunch with them and we ran out as fast as we could and went and bought all kinds of stuff and brought it back. And you've given me a lot of wonderful memories too, so thank you.
Thank you. And thank you guys. Here's to another 500. So cheers. See ya.